Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mike Schmidt, the 40-year-old boy.
Stop clapping. Can you hear me? Is that loud? I can't hear me.
I hear you.
All right, good. Well, you can hear me. I'm fucking there. It's like, I got you. It's fine. It's just me and you locked in for the show. That's all right. All right, Goose. I got you. All right. I appreciate it. Hi. Thanks for coming out to the show. We appreciate it. I'm speaking the royal we. That would be all of us. Actually, I think you're in it. He and I appreciate it. Now, this is going to sound weird. I have lights in my eyes. I can't see a fucking soul, which is fine because I don't want to. I never want to. All I can see is your hair and your Hot Rod t-shirt. Are you Roddy Piper? I don't even know. All right, because that is quite the Piper coif, right? Yeah. And I didn't see a kilt, but I figured it's Friday, and you're going to a show. You don't want to be completely noticed. As if Roddy Piper would go to a show with his own name on his shirts. Like, trying to be incognito, didn't wear the kilt. You have your fucking name on your t-shirt, Roddy. Piper, he's a dick. He'll do that. He's fucking around. All right, so, hi. Thank you for coming to the show. The Venture Theater, the Palatial Venture Theater. Are those getting turned higher? Did that seem weird? Those? No? All right. I'm crazy. Don't listen to me. We're not in Green Bay. Mike, you lied to me. I was told it was Green Bay, all right? But I understand it's, what is it, Pere? Pere. All right, so we're in Pere. I don't know if that means anything, if there's some local noise ordinance that I'm going to have to obey, or if the local constabulary is going to come in and fucking shut this thing down like I'm Lenny Bruce. I have no idea. But it seemed like a nice neighborhood when I drove through. And I drove through a lot, folks, because here, I'm staying in Green Bay, and I had to get from Green Bay to De Pere. And I'm 3 miles away where I'm staying. So I have my phone, because even 3 miles away, I can't follow simple directions on a sheet. I have to follow my phone. I have to play the Mike Schmidt video game with my little blue dot. I got to follow me and see where I'm going. So I have my GPS out, and I'm like, all right, I'm winning. I'm leaving the hotel. And there was like, and this is fuck Apple too, by the way. I like Apple. I've got a million things. But when you go to their GPS, they give you, I just want to know how to get there. Don't give me 5 routes to choose from. Tell me how to get from point A to point fucking B, and that's it. Don't give me a fucking choice, because I'm bad. I will browse through the choices, and by that time I'm fucking late for wherever I'm supposed to be. Well, Route 5 looks great. I think that'll be fantastic. Grant Street, I think it sounds good. And then I'm late. So I leave the hotel. Are you from De Pere, people? No?
No.
This may have happened to you. This is weird. You guys are real subdued. What the fuck happened? I mean, not that I want you doing somersaults or anything, but it's like, hey, are we in De Pere? No. Shut up. It's a little early for shut up, folks. I'll shut up eventually. Oh, look at that. All right, so I leave the hotel. I've got the video game in my hand. I'm driving. And it's telling me I've got to follow this one. I took Ramada way. I'm probably reading a lot more than I should about where I'm staying. Who cares? I'm at the Holiday Inn Lambeau. Well, probably like the Packers one. And I was late because I had to drive here. I'll get to that later. Fuck, I had to drive here today. I didn't plan on driving here. I was supposed to have a ride. I'm the talent. Fucking drive me, right? No, I gotta get a car. So I had to drive, which was fine, but then I got lost because, again, the video game, trying to follow, because they said to me, I asked someone for directions, they're like, just look for directions to Lambeau, and it's right there, it's no problem. So I said, okay, great. I'm driving on 41? No? 3? 43. And you see signs, blah, 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 and then it said, Arena Stadium, exit 180. So I got off at exit 180, and there's fuck all there. There's nothing. There's like a McDonald's and 9 traffic cones. That's it. And I watched the game last night. It was in a much larger building than that, I gotta be honest. So fuck, man. So I sit down. So I gotta pull over again and restart the video game. So I do, and it tells me I'm still like 6 miles away. You're Green Bay, Wisconsin. What other fucking arena stadium do you have to sign up for? Collectively, you all own the building, right? You know the name. There's no other fucking team here. I guess because you all know it's there, but is that to fool like Chicago people? Is that what it is? Just like, arena stadium right here. Yeah, hey. So I pulled off and I was lost, and so I was late. I started, and then I fucking drove, and then all right, I'm driving, and it said to go, and then it said take the second exit on Ashton Street, whatever the fuck. So I said, all right, that's fine, because I know what exits are. Exits are signs that say Ashton Street here. So I go, and I get caught in a fucking traffic vortex. Like this, it's a spinaroo, like a fucking, I'm driving my car, and then I'm on like a fucking merry-go-round of cars, looking at Big Ben and Parliament on every goddamn pass. And I don't know what the fuck that's called, because on my phone in the video game, all it says is take second exit. Well, I'm just driving a fucking, there's no exit. Circles don't have an exit. It's just round perennially. That's it. Perpetually even. Fuck. And then as I'm driving, I catch the sign, and it says, you know what that's called? All right, I thought it was it said it was a roundabout. What the, did Hans Christian Andersen build this thing? He did? Oh my God. I had a lot of time to contemplate that as I drove in fucking circles in your streets. So I drove that, and then finally I saw an exit, and it was like, it felt like being in one of those video games, like, shing, and you get shot out the side. And that's what I did, and then I was tooling toward a plant. I don't know what the fuck you make here. You know what you make? Fake arena stadium signs. That's what you make. Keep the whole town employed. Answer in roundabouts. All right, so I'm driving, and I got caught in the fucking roundabout, and then I went down, and I got caught in five roundabouts easily. And like I said, I was fucking late when I got to the hotel, so I didn't even think to take a shower. I got washed up. They had a basin of Chicago Bears fans' tears right there in the lobby. So dumped my head in there. That's local pandering. That's what it's called. Yeah, I'm a Bears fan.
Sorry.
Because we're having a discussion. That was appropriate. It certainly makes sense. I would come up here with all the lights pointed at me, standing here with an amplification device. Of course I need to talk to you. It seems weird, right? He's just like, oh yeah, we're talking, we're friends. We're friends. Perhaps later. Me, you, and Roddy go out and get some booze. Booze? Why did I say booze? My head came up with booze right there. Don't think before you talk, folks. Just think. All right. So, so I drove here, and I came to town. I should tell you, I'm under the weather. I'm sore. My body is sore. Where's your sorry now, cocksucker? Right there for you, goddamn teeth! That made me laugh. I like laughing at me. I think I'm great. All right, that seems small. So, folks, so I'm under the weather. I did a stupid thing, like 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, Jesus. I ran a race, and a 5K. And it's like, yeah, and don't, if you're fat, don't run 5K, that's it. And especially not a 5K that has a bomb in the center of it. Like, I ran a thing called the Warrior Dash, which is like, 5K, straight line, fuck that, 3 miles, done. But this thing had dragons. It's like, don't fuck that. Fat guy walking in a straight line isn't a challenge, really. You don't need to incorporate the medieval cavalry that's charging after me. So I'm sore. I got fluid on my left knee, and that's by the way, self-diagnosis. I don't know if because I put my ear to it, and believe me, you go to see me put my ear to my knee, stick around. After me, Roddy, and the guy gets exposed. The guy. That's all I had. So and also then I got to your town, and I got sick kind of quick because it's like out where I live, it's 98, And then I get off the plane, and it was 87. And it's like, oh, that's okay. And then the next morning, it was 50 and rain. And so much so that I had like my air conditioning cranked up in my room because it was 87. And that's what I do. Here's what I do when I go to a hotel room, folks. If it's summer, I crank up the air, and then I lay under the blankets like a child. However, conversely, in the winter, I crank up the heat, and then I throw the blankets in the closet and don't even look at it. It's fun. Almost as fun as telling you about it. It's important you know every detail. God damn it. I wonder how that guy handles his hotels. I really do. Does he enjoy hotels? What does he do with the bed clothes? Although, fuck that. You know what? Now, by the way, things have changed with my routine in the hotel, folks. I'm glad you asked. Because unfortunately, I wound up at home with fucking bed bugs at my house like a couple of weeks ago. So now when I go to hotels, I used to love hotels. You know what I used to do? I would get to the hotel and I would turn the heat all the way up. All right. Let me get it out. All right, stop controlling yourself. I used to love hotels. Fuck, I would go in. You walk in the hotel, you lock the door, you take all your clothes off immediately. And but now I can't. I love my immediate because I have bed bugs. All right, I had them. They're gone. I think. I hope. If they hear me now, leave. But now you get a panic when you go to fucking hotels because I googled it and so I learned how to look for bed bugs in your hotel. First of all, you have to dress up like a bed bug. No, you gotta go and inspect the fucking seams of the sheets and the mattress. And I was in Portland last week. I did it for 40 minutes. It's not even a joke. Like I went into the hotel and because a buddy of mine is like, dude, immediately put your suitcase in the bathtub. And I'm like, well, of course. Because apparently bed bugs don't, because otherwise they'd be, what? Bathtub bugs? Of course. It makes sense. How did I not think of that? So I fucking just put my stuff in the tub, and then I put on a goddamn miner's hat with a light, and I just pour over seam and they like wood too. So it's like I'm looking through mirrors and headboards and fucking dressers. Dude, it used to be fun to stay in a hotel. Now it's a fucking chore. It's like, because on this trip I'm in 2 hotels. And in my head I just went double bed bugs. Fuck, great. It's like work. So, how the fuck did I get into that? Hotels, bugs, looking. Huh, I flew to town, who cares? All right, so, I'm sure, I'll think of it eventually. I'll get there and, oh my, I know you can't wait. So I got sick at the hotel. So I cranked. Now I'm pissed. I gotta fucking remember why I did that, because there was a thing, bugs looking. It's usually a stripper who fucking tells me what I was. Shit. All right, never mind. So I flew to town, and I was, like I said, I got sick. I flew on a red eye this night. You know what? I fucked this whole trip up. This trip's a fucking nightmare, folks. I double bought airfare. I didn't mean, that makes it sound like I meant to. When I booked the show, I went online and I bought airfare right away. And I have other shows, so I spaced out, and I found a great deal on Delta for this trip. So I said, that's fantastic, and I bought that right away, and then put it in my pile of other travel plans, including the initial fucking ticket I purchased for this trip. But it worked out great because I called American Airlines and they were very nice. They only charged me 150 fucking cocks in the ass to change it. I don't enjoy the airlines. And by the way, that's the truth. 150 cocks in the ass. It's a currency in Europe. It's on its way. It's not good. So I changed it. Flew to town. Flew the red eye. I was worried. Well, actually, I was happy with the red eye because I like going to the airport late because it's usually dead. But the problem is now, certainly in Los Angeles, I'm sure other airports, if anybody takes the red eye, that's fine. But now they cut all the employees, so it doesn't matter. Like they only keep 2 security lines open, so it's just as bad as it is during the fucking day. So I got in line, and I've learned, because they usually make me take my belt off and all that bullshit, and I'm tired of showing my balls to America, so I said, fuck it. I wore sweats, and I'm in line waiting to just sleep, and when you fly red eye, everybody's just a zombie, man. They're just, everybody's marching and they don't want to look at anybody. But there was one TSA dude who would not shut the fuck up. Like he was the guy in charge of telling you to take your belts and your shoes and everything off. but he did it on a loop, like he was the person outside telling you couldn't park out front. You know that voice? And the white phone is for courtesy parking. Or the white phone? White curb. I'm sick, folks. Give me a break. So he's like, he had a voice. You know, he was so fucking proud of it too, because he had a voice like a foghorn, and he wouldn't stop. It was where the point the other employees even are just like, fucking Jerry, enough. Just because he's standing here and he's got this fucking horrible hair, and he's like, folks, take your shoes off, please. Shoes off, slip-ons, sneakers, untie them, put them on the conveyor belt, please. Folks, everything out of your pockets, everything, wallets, keys, cell phones. You may hold them in your hand, but you must put them on the conveyor belt when you open. And he won't fucking stop. And we're all standing there, and we're laughing, like me and two other dudes, just like, this is fucking hysterical. Like, nobody's listening to him. That was why I didn't mind him yelling, because, and I don't know if it was like, just because they're groggy for the red eye, or if this was their plan, but everybody who got up to where he was after finally with the line, they wouldn't take anything out of their pockets. So he would get up there, and there was a dude standing there, some Polynesian dude, which, and by the way, that's a guess, I didn't ask him. He had a grass skirt, a ukulele. Anyway, he had an entire pig over his shoulder. He's like, let me on the plane. Booga booga. That's what they say. I've been to Polynesia. So anyway, I sound like Drunk Ted. All right, so long story. I'll tell you about Drunk Ted. All right, so this dude, he had like a Hawaiian shirt on and like sandals and all that. But every time, like he would get to the thing, and the guy. All right, that is the Polynesian dude, and over here is the TSA guy. And he's like, take everything off, shoes, belts. Sir, please take your belt off. Everyone, please, your shoes. And the guy would take the belt off and then stand. And the TSA guy would go, everything comes off, please, everything. Shoes, sir, your shoes, take your shoes off. And he'd go and the guy would take the shoes off and stand. Please, take everything out of your pocket. Sir, your wallet, out of your pocket. One at a time. Like he made me instructed every single time what to remove or take off. And he goes like, your belt, sir. And he's this close to him, your belt, idiot, your belt. And he finally takes it all off. And then he says, sir, everything out of your pockets. And the guy just kind of shrugs. And he goes, everything. And he points. And then you can see there's like the shape of a brush or something in his front pocket. How do you even miss that? So he reaches in and he pulls it out. It's a handkerchief. And the guy, this beautiful Polynesian guy, just goes, it's only a handkerchief. And that was it. TSA just goes, everything out of your pockets! Just this breaking, his voice broke, he's horrified. So he puts the handkerchief in the thing, and then he takes one more step up, and the TSA guy is he's literally standing here, just staring at it. And the guy's just looking at him, and he's like walking forward. TSA blocks his way and stares at him. The Polynesian guy's just looking at him, and now, because the guy stopped talking, and all of us are wondering what the fuck is going to happen, and he looks at the guy and he goes, do you have everything on the belt, sir? Polynesian guy goes, yes. And he goes, you're wearing a hat, sir. And the best part is it's not like a yarmulke or a baseball hat. He had a gigantic Polynesian straw, like sombrero hat. Like where I was hoping he didn't take it on the plane because the wind resistance would cost him a half an hour in the air. It was that fucking gigantic. And it's on his head. The guy's just blocked his way. You're wearing a hat, sir. And it's just so big. He had it in 2 hands to take it off. Put it in the thing. They had to jam it in the fucking belt. I was howling. Get on my plane. Red eye. Oh, dude, I'll tell you this. Before I left the house, I got in my car. And my wife Karen is like, "You have everything?" And I said, "Yes." And I apologize. I didn't sleep on Tuesday. I stayed up, and then I did a podcast that was really long, and then I went to my house to try to pack, and then I had to catch a red eye. And then, so I was kind of being an asshole to my wife. And we're packed, because she packed me. What a dick. So we packed everything, and she's helping me, and I'm just kind of being a surly prick. And then we get everything, and I put it in the car, and I go, because I wanted to drive my car, because I like my big car, and she has a tiny car, and she wanted to drive, so I was being a pussy about it, and she's like, oh, I'm just driving, I want to drive. He goes, Michael, I want to go back at 11 o'clock and find a parking spot. Whatever. It's about you, of course. You jerk. So I put everything in the car. I didn't really say that to come here. It's like, you're an asshole. I didn't go that far. I was just being like short. So I put my stuff in the car, and it's all in there, and then we go to leave, and she looks at me, she goes, got everything? And I go, yeah, I got everything. You saw that. You wouldn't let me put the bag in the back seat because you got stuff in the trunk. Fine, it's here. She goes, you sure? I go, yeah. And she goes to drive, and I realized that I had consolidated stuff into one bag, and I had left my cell phone and my earbuds in the house. And I went, wait! And she stopped the car. And I said, my phone and my earbuds are in the house. And she's like, oh, well, go get them. And I have to, dudes, I don't think I've ever been as happy in my life as I was the second I realized I had remembered my phone and my earbuds. Because can you imagine flying without your earbuds? Can you imagine getting on a plane with no music to listen to and you have to hear fucking Polynesian guys strum his ukulele the entire fucking time? No earbuds on a plane? That's like going to a fucking ass fucking party with no lube. That's terrible. You can participate, but you and everybody you're involved with is going to be very uncomfortable. So I get on the plane and it's a red eye, like I said, and it's dark, man. Oh fuck, I gotta tell you this, dude. It's terrible. I think a lot of this show's not in order, but I'll get this stuff eventually. And by the way, there's a real show later. Stick around for that. That's gonna be amazing. But right now we're talking. I have a costume that I wear on the plane, out of like Polynesian Joe. I wear a hoodie whenever I fly so that I can put it on and listen to my iPod throughout the entire flight. Because I hate when they give you that bullshit for like the first 40 minutes you can't listen and the last 20 minutes of the flight. That's like an hour of no music. Fuck all that. My iPod isn't going to make the plane crash, and if it does, I don't care because I'm listening to Tool, and that's fine. I'm done. So I usually have the hoodie because then I can cover up my head and nobody says anything. Well, I was carrying, again, my wife, she was very nice, but I was like, could you put this hoodie in the suitcase? So she did. And then I checked my bag, and I went, I give it to the guy, and he turns around and he puts it on the conveyor belt, and he goes, have a good flight. And I go, whoa, I need that bag! And because the hoodie was in there, and I had to have my costume so I could listen to my fucking music. And all of a sudden, there's 9 dudes standing around the bag, and they all, like 8 of them just watch it go down the belt. And the one dude who made an effort to get it does not go for the bag, because he's here, and he turns around and he puts it here. And the bag starts going that way, and all the 8 dudes are there. He's here, the bag goes that way, and he turns around and goes, whoa, I need that bag. And instead of going for the bag, which is now like within arm's length, he goes, oh! And he runs to this side to turn the belt off. And as he turned the belt off, you heard my bag go and fall down the little belt. And the 8 dudes are just like, oh man, we could get it, but it'd take like 45 minutes. And I said, relax, 8 fellas. I got this. Got on the plane. Red eye. Didn't need the hoodie costume. Completely dark. Plane didn't crash. Got to listen to all my music. Landed in Minneapolis for my connecting flight because nobody goes from Los Angeles to Milwaukee. They'll go from Los Angeles to New York, dropping shit on Milwaukee as they fly over it. But asking them to land there? No, too much. So I have to go to Minneapolis, we land, I get out, and look, Minneapolis, I understand you're a big city. You've got 4 sports franchises, you're decent. Do you need to have the hugest fucking airport on the planet? If you've been to Minneapolis Airport, well, first of all, I'm glad you made it here. Because, I mean, I don't care when you landed, getting here it had to be a month, easy. And because I landed, dude, and it was fucking gate E6, and of course I have a connecting flight. My connecting flight to Milwaukee is like an X-25. And I've got 40 minutes to get there. So that's just a fucking game at that point, right? And it's Minnesota, give me a dawn sled, something, anything. So I'm fucking hustling through and I'm running past the parka-clad skeletons of the people who failed before me. Get to my plane, hop on. Oh, by the way, nobody in the middle seat next to me either way. Oh, that's fat guy gold. And that's fat guy after crazy race with fluid on gold. Oh my God. Sprawled out like a psychopath. Looked like an asterisk the entire flight. Flew to Milwaukee. Landed. And I was being picked up by a listener friend, our friend Jill, who some of you may remember from an episode. She was, oh my God, why aren't you texting me, Mike, Jill? And then she was, oh my God, why aren't you meeting me in San Diego, Mike, Jill? But now she's, hey, I'll pick you at the airport to make up for all that other dumb stuff, Jill. So good. I get to the airport in Milwaukee, and I have my earbuds on, and fuck that, my earbuds stay on, I don't want to talk to anybody. So I'm walking through, and I get to the Milwaukee airport, and I exit the gate part, and I start to enter the human part, where real people are before they get to the security. And I zip through, and there's security right on my left, so I stop. There's a podium, because I wanted to get some gum, and, you know, I'm shoveled. I'm disheveled, I gotta get shoveled. So I put my stuff on this podium, and I start grabbing stuff, and I have my earbuds in. And a security guy, he comes over to me, and he looks, and he's like, he starts talking, and I can't hear him, so I pop out one earbud, and I go, yeah? He goes, move along, friend. And I said, what? And he goes, move along, you can't stand here. I said, I'm just getting some gum. He goes, I said you can't stand here. And I said, are you serious? Now, let's talk about 3 words they never want to hear. Because this guy's he's like old Milwaukee, he's Milwaukee in a suit. I mean, he's just an old dude with a fucking buzz cut and like a lazy eye and lifts in his shoes and fucking, you know, gravy stain on his fucking shirt. And I said, are you serious? And he doesn't know that though, by the way. He doesn't know that. He's got a badge. He thinks he's fucking Chris Noth in a sharkskin suit from Law and Order. And when I said, are you serious? He just heard tum-tum right in his head. So he steps out from behind like the podium and he looks at me and he goes, I said move along, sir. And he reaches like this. He has no gun. He squared up his hand on his hip like this. And look, the last thing I want in Milwaukee is an imaginary shooting. I'm going to be honest. Because I'm going to wind up in imaginary intensive care. And that's going to be an imaginary long road to recovery for me. And, oh, wait, maybe imaginary hot nurse shows up and gives me an imaginary spun bath every day at imaginary 3 o'clock. That can work with some imaginary shootouts. Come get some, lazy eye! Reach! He was. So I was freaked out, so I laughed. I laughed in his face, of course, because I'm stupid. Ha ha! I had my stuff, walked off, put in my earbuds. And I walked to go out of the airport. So I texted Jill, and she said she was like a half hour away. So I walk through, and as I'm getting to the escalator to go down to the baggage claim, a guy looks at me, and he starts to point at me. I don't know. And I look at him, he goes, and he's pointing over my shoulder, and I freeze, because I'm like, wait a minute. Is fucking lazy eye coming for me? Is that happening? I got shoveled and I bailed. That's fine. I respected his imaginary authority. And so I popped on my earbud and he goes, someone's calling you, they're calling you. And the security guy doesn't know my name, so I don't know what the fuck. And I hear Mike, and I turn around, and there's Jill to pick me up. And Jill, by the way, is, it took me a second to see her, because she's, I think, 4'6". I mean, she's small. You wouldn't see her if she wasn't standing on top of a cake. I mean, that's how small she is. And I turn around, she's right there, and man, is she tiny. And I was thrown because I texted her, and and she's like, "What? You walk right past me?" And I said, "Well, because I didn't expect you." I texted me you were going to be a half hour late. And what I didn't say was also, and nobody comes into the airport if they're not flying unless they're a terrorist. Why are you here? The only thing she has going for her is, like I said, she's like 4'6", and there's nowhere to hide a bomb on that frame at all. Unless she's actually like a fembot from Austin Powers, just getting her all joined up. So she was very nice to pick me up, that was great, and we get piled into her Dodge Stratus, which was my headquarters for the past 3 days. Drove off, and went to my hotel. I stayed in a... Alright. I booked this trip a while ago, and then I do Priceline a lot for hotels and things. Although now that the bed bugs have arrived, I don't know if I'll be doing that in the future. They've arrived, by the way. They came that shit. So I had to go to Priceline, and usually what I'll do is the second I book a show, I will Priceline that day a hotel with like some ridiculous lowball offer. And I only do like 3-star hotels. I know because I'm very fancy, being a talent. But unfortunately, I'm finding out that Priceline has a little different idea of what 3 stars is. I've gotten tons of good ones, but then you'll get one bad one. That's funny. You'll get 12 good ones, and then you get one bad one. You're like, I am gonna fucking murder William Shatner in his sleep. So I Pricelined a hotel. The first day, I booked the Milwaukee show, and I go in, and I just threw in $40. Which, come on, 3-star hotel for it. You're never getting it, never. And then usually it does this thing where it goes through, and then they won't take 40, so you go 50, and it's a whole negotiation with a fucking robot. But I paid $40, and it said, now finding your click, this deal has been accepted. Like, it accepted it in seconds. And it was a hotel called the Clarion Hotel at the airport. None of those words appeal to me at all. At all. Certainly not together. But I didn't care. I Googled it and seen it was okay. And, by the way, it doesn't matter because you can't fucking change it once you book it on Priceline. So I told Jill where I was going, and she's like, well, I don't know where that is. So I said, hold on, I've got a video game of myself on my phone. So I pull it out, and I punch in the thing, and it's literally like 0.7 of a mile from the airport. So it might as well be in a plane. Like, you literally you just keep getting on and off as people get on and off. So that's all I had. So I go to the Clarion to check in. And I got to town early, like I said, it was a red eye, so it's like 8:30 in the morning. And I go to the desk, and there's a couple of old dudes there. One old dude, one bald dude. And I said to him, I go, hey, can I get an early check-in today? This was Mark. His name was Mark on his tag. And I said, hey, Mark! And he was stunned that I knew his name. Huh? I said, Mark, hi, I have to check in. He goes, I'm sorry, we have no rooms today. I said, no, I said, I have a reservation. He goes, oh, you have a reservation? Well, yes, absolutely, you can check in, but not until 3 o'clock. I said, well, I understand that, but is there a way I can get an early check-in? No, I'm sorry, you can't. Why not? Well, because all of the rooms are filthy. Is that a word you want to use in a customer service? And also, I'll paint a picture of Mark. Mark has Asperger's. There's no doubt he has Asperger's. Because every time I would talk to him, he would just deny me. And I would say, well, what if I come back in an hour? Will the rooms be non-filthy? Is that possible? And he's just like, oh, you can check in at 3 o'clock. That's the way it works. And then he looked me up on the computer. He goes, yes, it says here you have a 3 o'clock check-in. I go, I understand that. And I'm here. I'm a person, and I have bullet bags. And I go, I'll go kill some time if that's what you want, but I'll come back in an hour. And he's like, no, I'm sorry, 3 o'clock. That's the check-in time. And I lost my fucking mind. And I understood it, but I was like, ah. And I looked at Jill, and she's just like, well, we can go kill some time. I'll take a breakfast. So we went out to go get breakfast, and we went to the Honey Pie Cafe in Milwaukee, which is the best breakfast in Milwaukee, and we got there at 9:30, and it was locked. Open to 10, because this town of alcoholics doesn't eat breakfast before 10 o'clock. Everybody's home sleeping off the drunk. They pop out in double digits to get some fucking eggs in their gullet. So I looked at her and I said, seriously? She's like, yeah, that makes no sense. Because, it wasn't her suggestion to go to the Honey Pie, it was mine. And I took her to and it's in some shitty neighborhood. It's like Gunshot Boulevard, And she's 4'6" on 4 phone books going, I don't know if I like this very much. I said, come on, we'll be safe. It was me, from nobody, from out of town. I've got my imaginary gun right here, I almost go there. So this fucking cafe is closed, and then I was pissed. And I was pissed at that asshole with the Asperger's, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'm getting another hotel. I'm just getting another hotel. So I made Jill, God damn it, I'm an ass. I said, you mind taking me to another hotel? She goes, where? I said, I don't care. You know what, let's go to the one I stayed in when I was here in November. And she goes, I don't know what that is. So I said, well, it's the Hilton. It's in downtown or something. So we drive downtown, and she's looking around, and finally we park. I pay $5 to park, and I grab all my stuff. And we go inside, and I go to check in, and I go, hi, I just needed to get a room for 2 nights. I'm sorry, we're full up, sir. You're full up? She goes, yeah, I'm very sorry, we have a convention in town. I said, can you recommend anybody else? She goes, well, there's a DoubleTree. She names like 4 hotels. And we go downstairs, and so I just started making phone calls, and all of them were fucking full. And the thing that was crazy is, like, like I said, we've gone into the Clarion, and I'm dragging all of my stuff, like 4 bags. Like I'm a businessman in a 60s movie, just Harry. I can actually do the dun. So we were shunned. I could not find another hotel. So finally, it was like 11 o'clock, and I called the Clarion, and I said, hey, I wanted to check in. Is there any way I can check in? And the guy goes, yes, we have rooms available right now. And it was Joel. And I go, who's this? He goes, Joel. I go, all right, Joel, don't tell Mark. And I fucking got the car. Showed up, went to the desk, and Joel's there, Mark's there, but I got Mark, which was a drag, and I went right to Mark. I go, Mark, talk to Joel. Is Joel here? And he's like, oh yeah, you're fine. And I said, and he starts to look, And then I asked him if I could upgrade my room, because again, in the Clarion, I had no idea what it was. It looks, or this will tell you all you know about the Clarion. I said, hey, can I upgrade to like a king and a suite? He goes, yeah, it's $30. Is that for filthy or non-filthy, Mark? So I paid the $30 because I got the because I needed a couch. And checked in and, killed time till the Brewers game. Went to the Brewers game Wednesday night with Jill. And her husband was working, so she had to go. And I'm like, oh, poor girl has to take me to a baseball game. Because that's what I go out of time. People are nice. And I should tell you this, I don't know who the fuck these people are. I've been to Kansas City, Toronto, and now here. And the seats keep getting better to the point where the next city I go to, I may take I may pinch hit. I don't know. Everybody that listens to my show or is interested in it, they have like these amazing seats. And we're 2 rows behind, or no, like we're like 8 rows behind home plate, like right behind the net. It was fucking amazing. And I felt bad that she had to sit through a baseball game. She had a little Brewers suit on. I'm like, oh, that's cute. And she, because I figured, I'm like, well, she'll show me around the park because it's pretty, and she'll like, and I'm just like, whatever. So we sit down, and the game starts, and they had a question on the scoreboard, and it said, who is your favorite all-time Brewer? And so I looked at her, and I said, so who's your favorite all-time Brewer? And I'm waiting for Ryan Braun, who's like the big star now, but I also know she likes Ricky Weeks because it's like her Facebook page. And I don't know if she likes his hair, whatever. So I look at her like condescendingly. I'm like, "Who's your favorite Brewer of all time?" She goes, "Well, I like Ricky Weeks." And I go, well, "I know that." I go, "But of all time, if you had to pick one," and she goes, "I'd probably pick Sixto Lezcano." And I went, I'm sorry, what? And she goes, "Yeah, I'd probably pick Sixto Lezcano. I liked him a lot." And Sixto Lezcano, for those of you who don't know, is an outfielder from the 80s. And so she said that, and I looked, and my brain, I looked like I think smoke may have come out of my ears. Because I'm like, this 4'6" lady all of a sudden pulled Sixto Lezcano on me. So I then immediately went into like weird sports geek mode, and I was like, I had him in straight automatic baseball. Like, it was so awful. And I go, he played for the Phillies too. And she goes, yeah, and the Cardinals. She knows everything in the world about Sixto Lezcano. And I'm just like, and it was funny when she said it, in my head I was like, that's awesome that she knows baseball, but I also wanted her to keep it down, because I figured that some real Brewers fan would kidnap her and steal her away from me for the rest of the night, and she'd wind up making love to him on Brewer Island in a pile of Jim Gantner cards. Damn it. And then it's just on me because I'm a sexist asshole, because when I first met her, she was in fucking San Diego to see the Packers. Like not even, because I even thought that, I'm like, well, she'll probably go to the beach and dive into a fucking martini glass while her husband goes to the game. No, she's got a hardcore fucking like jersey and whatever, so I'm an idiot. I'm just a dick. So we're watching the game, and there's a group in front of us, like a group of like 8, and they had won a car somehow. I don't know if they wrestled the chorizo for it or something in the beginning of the game. Because we got there and they're on the field, like this whole group with the chorizo, the Italian, the bride, all of those motherfuckers, and they're taking a picture together with like a big Pacifica, a crazy car, and they won it. So they were sitting in front of us, and never before have I rooted for people to drive home their prize more in my life. I just went near 8 dead in Pacifica crash. Chorizo suspected. Because they were awful. They were awful people getting drunk, and they were the worst kind of drunk. Like they just kept loading up and drinking two-fisted, and there were 2 young guys who were like the catalysts, and then there was an old dude who was like 64 who was into them. Like everything they would do, he would like follow to try to fit in. It was fucking terrible. So then one of them starts heckling, like badly, just screaming, "You suck!" Just an asshole. And then Travis Ishikawa comes to the plate for the Brewers, and he actually said, he's like, "Ching chong, Ishikawa!" And one of his friends goes, "I love Drunk Ted." Drunk Ted is the best! And I looked at Jill, and Jill just goes, "I don't like Drunk Ted." And I'm like, Drunk Ted is not the best. So then we just kept the rest of the show, the name, we kept making up nicknames for him. He'd yell, "You suck!" And I go, "I love casual racism, Ted." Casual racism, Ted is the best! Jill said, I love vehicular manslaughter 10. Vehicular manslaughter 10 is the best! And we're doing it right behind them. They don't even notice. Left. Yesterday happened. There was a football game last night. I heard there was a game. I didn't see much of it. Jill and her husband took me out to a Packer bar, and Jill was like, "Hey, you should wear your Bears jersey." And again, she's a girl. I thought she thought it would be cute to do, but no, she was basically hoping that I'd get punched by somebody. And I stupidly wore it. That was the dumb thing. You know why I wore it too? This is one of my friends like basically accused me of not having balls on the phone. He's like, "Dude, you gotta wear your Bear jersey to a fucking..." Because I was gonna go to the game, but it was like $3 for tickets. I'm like, fuck that. And plus I got caught in a roundabout and missed the first half. So my buddy Jimmy O was like, "Dude, you gotta wear the jersey." So I sent him a picture from the bar, and I'm like, "Dude, I'm in a Packer bar in a Bears jersey, I'm gonna get socked." And he's like, "I don't see your Bears jersey, dude." So then I took a picture of just a 5'4" on my chest. I'm like, "There you go, buddy. Take that." He's like, "All right." You know we're old men, right? We're old men. And that was the only saving grace last night. They took me to an old man bar. If I was in like a real bar, it would have gotten ugly. I know, because even in the shit old man bar, I was getting Bears suck, and like right behind my ear, that bullshit. But here's I'm a child, because again, my friend texted me and he's like, "Where are you?" And I was like, and we're children. Like my friend's like, "Are any of the Fudge Packer fans being assholes to me yet?" You have kids. You texted the word Fudge Packers. Cut off your thumb. Cut off your fucking thumb right now. Who do you think you are? So that, but worse, my answer is I go, "I already looked around. There's nobody here I can't take." What? 9 years old. It's me staying in the bar. There's a show that I do. This is all just about me coming to town. I should stop now, right? Shouldn't I? And then this happened. And then I rented a car today and I'm here. All right, good. Now I'm here. So this show, this is the weird part for me, because I could just start the show. All right, how many people here have no fucking idea who I am? Really? That's weird. All right. Well, they give it also that's dumb, because I know for a fact, like half of you have seen the show like 9 times. That seems weird. It's only that 7. So I wrote what is supposed to be a one-man show, and it's just me telling stories, and I never know where to start. I could start early, but I like to talk about what I did when I came to town. And then I do this awkward bullshit when I should just go into the show. But instead, I prefer to make it quiet and make you all feel uncomfortable about not knowing exactly where I am in the show. Because, and the reason I do this is because all of that you just heard is all just me talking, but now it's going to sound written, and there's going to be a weird transition where you're going to go, is he reading a book now? What the fuck? And also, by the way, none of you will do that. Only in my head will you all of a sudden judge me after an hour of funny, will you just go, "Well, this isn't funny at all." No, I don't. It seems very scripted, quite frankly. I don't know who these skeptics are, but they live in my brain. And they come to every show. And they have my whole career strong. Every time I subjected strangers to my talking. How about that? That's it. Well then now this is really funny, because now you don't know who I am. You all know who I am. The first line is going to be terrible. For those of you who don't know who I am, 6-0. Sorry. 6-0. Oh, did before she yelled at me. He's left-handed. I host a podcast, a very successful podcast, called The 40-Year-Old Boy. And when I say very successful, I mean it, folks. I have done upwards of 225 episodes at this point, and I've made almost $10,000 in merchandise sales. And if you go ahead and do the math on that, that's about $20 an hour, which is a pretty good rate if you're hanging rebar, but not exactly the going rate in the entertainment industry. industry these days. And by the way, if you have any idea, if you think I had any idea what rebar is before I wrote that joke, you are sadly fucking mistaken. None. Not a callus on these hands. I have no clue what it is. I thought of that joke, thought of the word rebar, laughed, typed it, immediately went to Wikipedia and looked up rebar. And it looks awful. It looks like a big game of outdoor Jenga with a boss. Thank you. I like my Jenga indoors and unsupervised. Thank you very much. So I do this podcast, and usually, well, I should tell you that about me. And I landed a left hand there. Oh yeah, that's right. Don't talk back. That was a backhand actually. That was more of a Jimmy Cagney right in there. I'm gonna hit it again. Idiots. It's now a one-act play. That was a Polynesian dude. I don't know what you could be. All right, so. Oh no, I'm gonna fall. Trying to get cute there.
Nice shoes.
Ha! You suck. I'm gonna. I have to explain that to you guys now. That's not even me. All right, there's a famous story. That's it. It's famous, by the way. I'm sure you all know it. I have a friend named Jimmy Pardo, and he's a comedian. And I made the mistake in a down moment of telling Jill this story. Jimmy Pardo one time bought new shoes when he was on the road. And he was like, oh, I don't know if I should wear them on stage because people are going to be a bunch of shit about them. And he's like, no, that's just shoes. He didn't want to give them any reason to say. And he was like, you know what? Fuck this. You're an entertainer. You're a grown man. Wear your shoes. Nothing's going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Pardo. And he walks up on stage and he goes, hey, everybody, how you doing? Nice shoes! in seconds that happened. And that's what just happened to me now. Because I told her, I said, these are new shoes, and I don't know if I want to wear them on stage, and here's why. And then she fucking remembered. How could she not remember? She knows fucking the entire outfit of the 80s Brewers. All right, so. That was the scripted portion. I found my own self-esteem. And now I do it again. I host a podcast. I have a list of other things to tell you about me. Here you go. Here's one of them. I'm a fuck up. That's it. That's the end of the list. I'm a guy who's constantly made the wrong decision his entire life. No matter what he was supposed to do, he did the other thing and wound up paying for it, unfortunately. And then you wind up being a 45-year-old guy who's paying to rent a theater in Pere, Wisconsin, and driving in circles. Roundabout was a pretty good metaphor for what we're all going through this evening. Because that would be my career in a nutshell. And the weird thing is, you know what, like I said, I've always made the wrong decision. I'm a guy who, I think I'm funny, I do all those things, and yet I still fuck up, and I'm angry at myself for it, but at the same time, I think I am a fucking genius. And I think you're all very lucky to be here hearing me fucking talk tonight, quite frankly. No matter how much I hate myself, I envy you because you get to watch me. How weird is that? But I just don't know what to do. I can't focus. That's the thing, is I try to pay attention, I try to make a career for myself, but I can't focus. Because I sit down, I'll try to write jokes. I want to write jokes. I sit down, I'll stare at the cursor blinking at me on the computer, and I'm like, all right, time to write some jokes. And I sit down, and I get my hands poised, and I look, and it's time to write jokes. Just as soon as I run the blogs and I look for celebrity crotch shots. And I do. Don't fuck. I like every night. Every fucking night. Because there's always a new crotch shot I'm going to find. How am I supposed to concentrate on writing jokes when I know that there's pictures of Katy Perry's vagina out there that I haven't seen? And they're out there, folks. And I will find them. That's my pink whale. I stare, I look, and he started getting out of a limousine, and he's looking at the paparazzi catches. I just look, I can't stop. 2 hours worth looking for celebrity crotch shots, even older crotch shots, just to see, just to revisit an old friend. Hey, it's Lindsay Lohan's vagina. You and I were pals a couple of years ago. Good to see you're still doing fine. And and then I'll just sit there and I'll stare at like Megan Fox's bikini strip with a fucking jeweler's loop in my eye, like I'm on CSI Vagina. But after 2 hours of that, it's time to write jokes. It's time to focus. Time to get myself squared away and write some jokes. And then I decided instead I'm going to go to ESPN and check the scores. Which is ridiculous because I love sports, but they are fucking meaningless. Meaningless. I found this out last night in a bar. They're meaningless. Because, man, I love sports, but very rarely can you pay your rent with a 2008 World Series championship. I tried. My landlord did not fucking care that the Phillies had won. Yay! Who cares? Where's your October rent? The fact that they win does not change the fact that I'm a fucking 45-year-old man who lives in a one-bedroom apartment. It doesn't change it. And yet I still go to the ESPN and I read the sport. And the thing is, if I just check scores, it'd be one thing. But man, I'm reading everything on the site just to kill time. You know what I read on ESPN? Chats. Chats with people I don't give a fuck about. And I still read them. Chats with a chess player or a fucking Olympic athlete. I don't give a shit. I'm just killing time. I read a chat with a guy named Stuart Scott. Do you know who that is? He's a fucking talking head anchorman on ESPN SportsCenter with nothing interesting to say unless it's written on a teleprompter. And yet I read the chat. By the 8th time he typed booyah, one of my fucking mouse cord would be thick enough to hang myself with. I can't stop because I don't want to work. I can't focus. I make myself look the other way. But ESPN is finally over and time to get to work, right? Right? Sure. As soon as I go to Sporkle and I take a quiz on world capitals that start with M. And I do it. I'm not even joking. Like, I wish that was a joke. I do it. And I'll take the M quiz several days in a row until I get a better score. That's right. Why not write some jokes and save up and get a trip to Madrid instead of taking the quiz on the internet that proves you know where the fuck it is, dumbass? I can't focus. And it's funny because people will tell me, all right, I used to go to a therapist, all right? And I went for like 5 weeks, I think, 5 episodes. 5 episodes. I was at Gabriel Bart's house in a shed. It was 5 appointments with this chick, and I come in for the 5th appointment, and she looks at me, and I sit down, and she's like, "All right, I have to tell you, we can't do next week." And I said, "Okay," and she said, "I'm closing my practice." I said, "What?" She goes, "I can't see you anymore. I'm actually leaving." I saw her 5 times. She quit the business. And again, it had nothing to do with me, but it doesn't matter. In my head, it has everything to fucking do with me. That's why I'm seeing a therapist. And I'm sure it was my fault because, like, literally the 4th time I saw her, all I could talk about was her ankle tattoo. But it's fine. Is that my fault that she's wearing a skirt, she's got her legs crossed, and her shoe, like, hanging off her foot with the ankle tattoo right in my face? I probably shouldn't have been on the floor, but still. So she tells me she's leaving, and she can recommend me to somebody else. I'm like, no. And then she said, well, you know what? I'm going to give you a prescription for Adderall. I think it would help you. And I said, I don't think so. And she goes, well, I'm going to write you the prescription. You'll have it, and you can go ahead and fill it and see what it does for you. And I said, and that seems like unsafe. Like, here, take some medicine. I'm never in the business again. She's like crazy Eddie just giving away fucking prescriptions. I just gotta get rid of this tablet by the end of the week, before the new guy comes in. So she writes me a prescription for Adderall, and I take it home and I don't fill it. All right, because I like me a little bit, because I think it'll dull me. I think it'll fuck me up, but I don't want to fill it. So I put it on my corkboard, and I still have it at my house. Above my computer, I see it every day. And then I wound up starting this podcast, and people would listen to it, and like around the 10th episode, I got an email from a guy in England, and he's like, hey mate, you should try Adderall. And I said, thank you, internet ghost whom I've never met from across the sea. I appreciate your instant diagnosis. And he's like, so I sent him that nice note, and then he wrote me back, and he's like, are you sure? I can send you some. What's that you say? Strange medications shipped to me from overseas? I'm sure the authorities wouldn't have a problem with that. And if it did get past them, I'd be sure to ingest it immediately. So I told him no. But it made me laugh that fucking independently of one another, 2 strangers told me I should take Adderall. And I don't want to take Adderall. Because like I said, I don't want it to dull me. I don't want it to fuck me up. I don't want to take it. Well, that's what I say. All right, I say I don't want to take it because I don't want to change me. But there's a darker side of that, quite frankly. What if I take Adderall and it doesn't work? What if it's the final bullet I have in my gun and I fucking pull the trigger and nothing happens and I'm still the same dipshit that I always was? because I'm going to jag off for a long time. I had to have done some damage on the cellular level at this point, to where any medicine that gets in there is going to be in trouble because my fucking cells are going to beat the shit out of it at some point. Just anything actually, you know what, actually like that idea. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? To be the guy who beat medicine? God damn, that'd be awesome! I just take penicillin, he gets in there, and it's like a fucking Barrio in my stomach. Oh, you think you're going to come in and cure this cold? We don't fucking think so, it stays. Because my germs have saps from the 20s. It's like a gangster film in there. It's brutal. Oh, Viagra, you think you're going to get his cock hard? I don't think so. This guy hates himself so much he needs all the blood to go to his heart to fuel the rage he has for himself. That's right. I don't care. I'll hate myself so much I'll make myself impotent. That's right, folks. Impotent rage. I got a lot of that. I didn't even know what I wanted the show to be when I sat down to write it. I sat down, I'm like, all right, because everybody's telling me to do a one-man show, and I don't know what the fuck, because they tell stories, all I do is talk. And I didn't want to commit myself to some narrative, and but see, now I got over that, right? So I sat down, I didn't know what it was going to be. Like, I was like a jaunty romp, and I didn't want it to be some bullshit, I was molested 9 times. Is that partially a lie? Wow, that was dark. Not you, Polynesian Joe. You weren't molested. All right, so I couldn't figure out what I wanted the show to be, but then I figured out what the show is. And have you ever seen the movie Talk Radio, or the play Talk Radio? Eric Bogosian is in it. He's amazing in it. He plays an extremely talented DJ, but he's an asshole to everybody he meets, and everybody hates him. But they all respect his talent, and I recognize that. I've had that happen to me. I'm used to having people give me that weird look of awe and pity, because they think that I'm really good at something, but they fucking realize I can't get out of my own way and succeed. It's like, it's not even just awe and pity, it's more of an awe and awe. Because that's what this show is. This show is like a live version of Talk Radio. But the thing is, Eric Bogosian, who started it, he can go on to another project. I can't. I'm a method actor. I'm stuck playing me for the rest of my life. I should explain that that's going to happen periodically. The lights will go out and music will start for no reason. Because that was the most weird, unenthusiastic applause I've ever heard in my life. Is it over? I hope, finally? Are the roadies going to come and remove the Polynesian guy? Because he's distracting me. Yeah, because it's like, it's a show, supposedly, so you're supposed to, you're not supposed to, I wanted to do that. I like music. Hell, if I could have an iPod out for this entire show, I would. You know what, I'm going to do that, I think. I think now I should buy iPods and earbuds and just put them on every table and just stand on stage while you listen to it. That'd be great. And then when the lights go out, you'll just... I was born in Chicago. Tell you about my family. I'm a big family. I had 4 brothers. And my mom and dad. My dad, however, decided that he was more interested in getting drunk, so he left. So it was me and my 4 brothers and my mom. Single parents. She had to work, bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan. Never let me forget that I'm a man. So she went ahead and took care of business, working during the day and leaving her 5 children home alone. Asshole, I'm so bored of myself. My mom worked, so we were single parents. I grew up I was born in Chicago, but after my mom got divorced and my dad took off, we wound up we lived in a few places, but then we settled in a place called Romeoville, Illinois, which is a white trash suburb of Chicago. And white, I mean white trash, like crazy fucking, you show up at the border and they take your teeth and give you a truck. White trash. give you a dog with no name till you can't name it or you have to move. So, freaking me out. Romeoville, by the way, is like I said, it's white trash. Still is. I've been through. They have like I go by my block and it's so small. Like everything's so tiny. All these little starter homes and this piece of shit block where I live. And but Romeoville, like I said, white trash. But they're trying to get city funds or state funds because they claim that Romeoville used to be Indian grounds. They want to build a casino in Romeoville. Good luck. I lived there. I mean, unless the white trashy tribe came and settled it before me, you are lily white to the core. So we grew up there. My mom would work during the day. She worked at a grocery store, and she left us home, me and my 4 brothers. I'm the second oldest. My older brother Lenny, who I will get to later, and then my brothers Glenn, Andy, and Scott. And when my mom worked, she left Lenny in charge of us, which is fucked, quite frankly. I mean, because it was bad for us as kids, but also it was terrible for Lenny. I mean, it's an awful burden to be 12 years old and try to be your brother's brother and maybe their friend, but also their dad. I mean, you don't be a 12-year-old dad. That's fucking terrible. So he would have to discipline us, which consisted of, hey, do your chores, and we didn't, he'd punch us in the face, because what else is he going to do? He's 12. He doesn't know what to do. So he was 12. I was 3 years younger than him. I was 9. And then Glenn was the middle kid. Fuck numbers, who cares? So we went to school, obviously went to school there, but we didn't go 9 months on and 3 months off for school, for summer. We went doing a thing called the track system, which is 9 weeks on and 3 weeks off. That's the way they did in Romeoville. And when you had 3 weeks off, everybody in your neighborhood would be off because they were A track, B track, C track, D track. So your whole track would be off because then you'd have friends to play with and hooligans to get into trouble with during the day. So we would be home during the summer. My mom would be working, and basically all of the parents on the block would be working. So it would just be me, my brothers, and all of our friends, and Picky with a conch shell, and it would turn into a fucking zoo. It was terrible. Lord of the Flies all over the block. And we would get together, and it was amazing because we were kids, and we would play football in the daytime, and then we'd come home, and we'd watch the monkeys, and we'd eat cereal at fucking noon, and then we'd go back out and play baseball until my mom came home, and then we ran in and hid because she'd be pissed off at us. So we would do that, but sometimes that wasn't enough for us. Sometimes we didn't just like playing football and baseball. Sometimes you'd play kick the can late at night, but sometimes we would play guns when we were kids. And I'm sure you all played guns. However, we played it maybe a little differently, although this is Wisconsin. But we played guns with guns. BB guns. We had BB gun fights. And the way it would work was we would get the whole neighborhood together, and we would have a draft. And there was this guy, QJ, and his brother Luke. They were the Witkevich family, and they lived in a house directly across from mine and one over. Like I was here in my house, and there's QJ's house. So QJ's family had a fucking arsenal in their house. They had air rifles and fucking pellet guns and Daisy air rifles and actual BB guns that looked like real fucking guns. It was crazy, the arsenal that they had. And the way it would work was they would come out, and the Witkevich family would draft people. And they would draft like 4 people to go in the house with them. And they would get the guns. And then everybody else who wasn't drafted would be outside, and they'd have to try to take the house. Assault on Precinct 13. And like I said, we had guns in the house, and the people in the street did not have guns. They were trying to take the house that was fortified with small arms fire. They had weapons, they had rocks, and they had unpopped popcorn with straws. So we would all, we would go in for the draft, we get picked, and then at this particular time I got picked. I was one of the people who got drafted. So I'm in the house, it's me and Robbie Hoffman, and it's QJ Witkevich, he's my brother's age, Luke Witkevich, who's older, he's in 8th grade, and then it's Cindy Witkevich and Joyce Witkevich, the 2 sisters. And it's me and Robbie Hoffman, so there's all of us that are in there. And the way it would work is we would say, go, and everybody would charge the house, and we would shoot them, and they would fall. Here's the thing, though. You had a fair chance, because you got through the fuselage, and you somehow, if you got to the doors were unlocked in the back and in the front. So if they got in the doors, it was guns down, and they got to beat the shit out of you, basically. They could throw rocks at you and spit popcorn at you and punch you until they were done and they had to leave. So see, it was a fair fight. So we would be in the house and we're all fortified with the guns, and everybody's outside and they got their popcorn and their straws and they got their rocks and everybody's there. And all of us have guns in the house. I have a gun and we have 2 people on the front door, 2 people on the back door because, again, you don't want anybody to get in and fucking beat the hell out of you. So we had people guarding the doors, then 2 people on the back door, and then we'd have people just running around to random windows. And I don't understand how the fuck his parents did not know we were doing this, because every screen in the house had the corner popped out, just enough to put the barrel of a fucking gun through it. If anybody were to drive by, all you would see is just gun barrels sticking out of this house, and kids lying in the street. So we're in the house, we're all armed, we're ready to go, and like I said, there's 2 people on the front door and the back door. Luke's on the back door, and he's got Robbie Hoffman with him, and then me and Joycey are running around to other windows, and on the front window is QJ Witkevich and Cindy Witkevich. She's guarding the front door. Cindy Witkevich is 6. And she has a gun. And we set her down at by the window well, and we're like, all right, just keep your gun out there, and Cindy, don't shoot anybody unless they get to the door. Nobody gets in the house. All right. 6 years old gun. Go! And it fucking is a massacre. The guys are charging the house. We're shooting them. We're in the house flailing. They're throwing rocks trying to get out, but nobody can reach us because they're getting cut down by the hedges. And you haven't lived until you've seen a fucking 12-year-old do the platoon Willem Dafoe pose in a front yard in the middle of a fucking barrage. And we're shooting, and they're charging, and they can't get in, they're shooting, they're going around the back, and we're shooting them there, and they're coming at us, and they got straws and fucking popcorn, and they're yelling, and all of a sudden Johnny Sensio runs up, and he dives into the front yard, and he rolls under the hedges, and he goes, time! Now when you're a kid, time out, that just means time out, stop, everything. So we do, we go, time, and we go, what? And QT goes, what's up? And he goes, I gotta go home. And we're like, so go home. He says, well, my backpack is in your house. We're like, okay, come get your backpack. Time. So Johnny Sensio gets up and he walks through the yard and he gets to the front door and he goes to knock on the front door and get the backpack. And we're looking for the backpack, all of us in the house. And Cindy Witkevich is 6 years old and she has a gun. And she's down here. Here's the front door. Johnny's here. She's there with a barrel pointing at him. And she's got it up there. And all Cindy knows is nobody is supposed to get in the house. So Johnny Sensio walks up and he goes to reach for the doorknob, and Cindy goes, get out. And Johnny stops and he looks at her and he goes, Cindy, it's okay. And she goes, get out. Bam! Pulls the trigger and shoots Johnny Sensio in the face. In the face! I don't know how the fuck she just, because she got the barrel pointing up and he looks down, he's like, Cindy, bam! He gets shot and he fucking goes down like he was fucking shot, quite frankly. It was like a spin and he lands in the front yard and he's face down. We're like, oh, Cindy, no! So we keep running outside and he's laying there and all he's just making noise like, and we don't know what it is yet. He's laying down, we're like, are you okay, Johnny? And again, we're kids. We don't know what the fuck to do. We're all just touching his head. What's going on? Are you okay, Johnny? What's that? And just like he's breathing and the dirt is like coming out like this. And we roll him over, and he's like, and he rolls over, and I don't know how the fuck she did it. I have no clue. But Cindy Witkevich shot Johnny Sensio directly between the eyes. Not even a centimeter because a centimeter off, he's blind forever. He rolls over, he's just got a red dot right in the center of his fucking head with this little tiny trickle of blood coming out of it. I'm like, oh no! I'm like, oh my God, get towels! So they go to get some towels in the house, and Luke Witkevich comes out. And again, like I said, he's in 8th grade, so he's kind of the boss. He's kind of in charge. He's the oldest. He's the smartest. He's got to have a level head about this. And he walks out and he looks at Johnny, and he goes, you guys find the BB? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, the BB, where's the BB? Like, I don't know, he's just laying here. And so Luke Witkevich reaches down, and he uses his thumb and his forefinger, and he puts it on either side of Johnny Sensio's that little pad of fat there between your eyes, and he just goes, squeezes, fucking BB pops out of his head. Rolls down, followed by an evil stream of blood that will not stop. Blood pouring out of his head, just shooting down, and then we all panic. Oh my God, towels, water, towels! So they go in the house, they go to grab towels, and we go to get water. You know what we did? We turned on the hose in the yard, and we turned it on, and we came over, and literally we just sprayed it in his face. Shut up! Ah! There's blood! And he's just like, oh, he's dry drowning in a fucking yard, rolling around, blood running down his head, and they're shooting him with the hose. Ah! Are you thirsty? We put the hose in his mouth. Water, blood, water. We come out and get towels. And again, we don't know how to do anything. We're fucking children. So all we knew is when you got hurt, and your mom would be like, oh, put a cold compress on it. So we fucking take water and we douse the towels, and he's laying there. We're like, Johnny, hold still. Just a fucking huge wet boulder, like a mummy mask, right in his face. Bam! Is the blood stopped yet? Is the blood stopped yet? Move the towels. We move him over, still bleeding. He's fucking rolling around fighting us. We're like, it's okay. And it must have been, I swear to God, it was an hour. But it could have been 5 fucking minutes. I don't know, it was 9. But by the time we finally pull the towels off, there's blood all over the towels and on the ground. But he finally stopped bleeding. He's finally just got the red circle, and it's not bleeding. It's just wet. And he's just coughing like a motherfucker. So we look at him, and he looks up, and he's like, like, Johnny, are you okay? Touching his face. He says, I gotta go home. We're like, you can't go home yet. You got a hole in your face. You can't go home. He's like, I gotta go home. I was supposed to go home. We're like, all right. And he stands up and he's wearing my backpack. So we get the backpack for him and he's like, And he goes, I gotta leave. And we go, wait, you can't go yet. We need a story. He goes, I gotta go home. And I go, we need a story to explain this. He goes, I'll tell my mom we were playing football. You have a hole in the center of your face. Football? Did you miss a pass and somehow it had a razor on it and shot you right in the face? He's like, I gotta go. And he just staggers like a zombie down the fucking road. Soaking wet blood on his shirt. So he walks off. We're standing there. Turn the hose off. Towels in the yard. Blood on the sidewalk. Look around. Time in! Can't end the game there. Johnny's out. So we head back in the house, we grab the guns, except for Cindy. In the name of all that's holy, get the gun away from the 6-year-old. So we go down, we fucking take the gun away from Cindy. We're like, all right, you just run around and you yell. Tell us when everybody's coming. So we're in the house, we're waiting, and my brother Lenny is in the yard. Like I said, he's on the outside team, and he's kicking dirt on the blood on the sidewalk. And he's kicking dirt in the yard, and blood on the dirt and the blood in the yard. And he's standing there, and QJ and I open the front door. We're looking at him, and he looks at us. And QJ just goes, you got 10 to run. Now, if you're an adult, and someone comes up to you in the street, and they say, hey, you got 10 to run, you negotiate. What are you talking about? I'm a grown-up. I don't have 10 to run. If you're a kid, somebody says you got 10 to run, what do? You fucking run immediately. So we're standing there with guns. We go, you got 10 to run. And our brother's just like, boom, he books. He starts running through the front yard. And all of a sudden go, 10, 9, 8. And he gets to the hedges and he goes to jump the hedges and he trips and he falls down on his fucking head right outside. He's scrambling, he's trying to get up, and he gets to the street. 8, 7, 6. Now we're counting down in the house. 6, 5, 4. When he gets to the street, he crosses the street, he gets to our yard. And like I said, it's directly across and 1 over. So he runs over and he crosses the street and he hits our front yard. 5, 4, 3. And he gets up and he gets to our front porch. And now everybody in the street is yelling. It's not just us in the house. There's an entire neighborhood of children counting down to a kid about to get shot. 4, 3, 2. He gets to the yard, he gets to the porch, he gets to the front door, and he grabs the screen door, and he whoops it open, and he goes to dive in. 1! And both QJ and I shoot. And even across the street, I could hear it. I just hear, which is, have you ever heard a windshield break? It's just, we saw it, and we just heard, and we just saw cracks in my screen door window, and it was on one of those shitty hinges, you know, those air hinges. So we shoot it, and the fucking window, half of it falls onto the porch, and it's that little pebble glass, like if you break a windshield, and it's on that air thing, and it just goes, and the rest of the window. And we're standing there with our guns like, and all you see is the hole in the screen door, and you see my brother Lenny just sit up. Oh, fuck. Time! We walk out, and we're trying to figure out what to do, what we need, because now you need a story. We absolutely have to have a story, because my mom is a fucking tooth chipper, and she is not going to take this. So we have to figure out what it is. So we get together, and we get all the kids in the neighborhood are there, man. Fucking Kevin Wales, and Peggy Scully, and Steve Schaefer, and Larry Swick, all of us. All of the elders of Gordon Avenue are there to figure out the story to fool my mom. Because they all know my mom. They believe me, they want nothing to do with it. So all of us get together, and we're trying to figure out a story, and we're going back and forth, and it's all these nuances, and finally, we try to figure out a story that's simple, that everyone can remember. Because you can't convolute a lie. If it's going to be a lie, it has to be a basic lie. You can't have a fucking backstory. It has to be bang and over. So we discuss it and figure it out, and we get the story. We finally have it down. We drill everybody, including my little brothers. We actually go to them and go, all right, what happened? What happened? What happened? We make them all repeat what happened. So everybody in the neighborhood is on the same page. And then everyone goes to their homes and waits for my mom to come home. We go in the house. My mom pulls up. We had a poodle that whenever my mom would drive up, she went crazy immediately. So she's jumping around, so we know she's home. So it's showtime. And we look through the big picture window, and my mom's in an orange Pinto. That's what she drove. And she gets out of the car, and she just closes the door and stands there in her deli smock with her fucking babushka thing. She goes walking, and we come outside to meet her, of course. And now here's something, too. I don't know why we did this, or didn't do this, quite frankly, but we didn't. We didn't clean up the glass. It looks like a bomb at the front of my house. It's like my mom went to work and came home to Beirut. I mean, it's fucking terrible. There's just glass everywhere. And those little pebbles, it's in the grass, it's awful. And this huge open window. And my mom walks up, and we walk outside, and we're like, hey, Mom. And she looks at us, and she's like just world weary and sick of it. And she just goes, what the fuck happened to the window? And this is it. This is the first wave. You only get one shot at getting this story right. And it has the story you agreed upon, and it has the story that everybody in the neighborhood knows, because there can't be any flaws. So my brother looks at my mom. I'm standing right next to him, and he looks at her and he says this. Two black guys walk down the street. Shot out the window and left. What the fuck are you talking about? What? And so I look at her and I go, Mom, two black guys walked down the street, shot out the window, and left. My mom goes, why? She said, we don't know. She goes, they didn't say anything? You go, Mom, they were black guys. We ran in the house and hid. So my mom goes, well, did you call the police? And the best part is, we're talking about, you can see every house, every kid has his face like pressed against the window. QJ, the wardens, fucking everybody's looking at the crumbs. What's happening? And my mom said, did you call the police? And that was a variable we had not planned. So we looked at my mom, and we're like, no, were we supposed to? We wanted to wait till you got home. She goes, well, you have to call the police. It's vandalism. You have to report it. We said, oh. Okay. So my mom goes in the house, and you can see like everybody in the windows are like, yeah. Until the police car pulls up, and everybody's like, ah. They close their curtains, and the cops come and they put us in the lawn and they go to talk to us, and they're standing there and they say, all right, tell us what happened, and all five of us are out there. Okay, And my brother says, "Officer, 2 black guys walked down the street, shot out the window, and left." And my brother Glenn goes, "Ask anybody." Solid buddy from the 7-year-old, thanks. And the police are like, "Well, that doesn't make any sense. Why?" And we said, "I don't know. They walked down the street and they shut out the window and they left." And then Larry Schmidt, who's because he's a dick, or he only has a mom and he's just a troublemaking asshole, and he would always get us in trouble. And he just walks up with the cops and everything. And he goes, "Hey, did you tell your mom the 2 black guys walked down the street, shut out the window, and left?" "We got it, Larry. Thanks." So he walks off, and the police are like, "Well, do you know what they look like?" And we're like, "Well, it was 2 black guys. Well, we don't know." And the thing is, the story, they look at us and they go, "Okay." "What?" And they go, "Okay, well, we'll get on this and we'll keep an eye out for them. If they come back, call us." It worked! The fucking story worked! White trash neighborhood, of course 2 black guys is gonna work! You know, they got in their car and they went back and they found out the one fucking mugshot of a black guy they had for 20 years and they put it up on the corkboard. He's at it again! Keep an eye out! Actually, you know what? They're probably Xerox. They Xerox, they put them both up on the corkboard. Got an accomplice now! Keep an eye out for both of them! The story makes no sense on its face. It's like the high noon of screen door assaults. Why? But they bought it. Just a neighborhood of psychopath kids. And it's so funny when you get older, everybody's like, "Oh, it was different when I was a kid." But you wonder, was it really? Because kids are shooting each other now with real fucking guns. What am I, a message guy? Grandmaster Flash. All right, so that's what it was. It was just all psycho kids and stuff. And the thing is, I have rage issues. I'm fucking pissed all the time. And myself, anybody else, doesn't matter. Circles. I'm mad at circles, for fuck's sake. Goddamn circles. My Subaru can't take it. So I'm that guy. And people are like, "Well, dude, why are you so fucking mad?" It's like, it runs in my family. All of us. I've rage. All of us. Me, my brothers, everybody. My family. My mom. Dude, in that neighborhood where I grew up, I saw my mom get into a fist fight with another mom. And not an argument, a fist fight. There was a fight, across the street were the Crumbs, the Crumb family. We had enemies in the neighborhood, just like I'm sure you did growing up. Maybe you didn't. No, Mike, we eventually enjoyed all of our friends. Not me. The fucking wardens, hate them. And we lined up good with the wardens because they had 6 kids and we had 5, but Larry was too old to fight. So Lenny would fight Jimmy, I would get Kenny, and then my brother would get Raymond, and then my brother Andy would get Michael, but they didn't fight. They were like 4. But if it came down to it, they would fucking go at it. I hated the wardens. And I hated the Crumbs. So across the street was Ricky and Timmy Crumb. They were kids that we grew up with. And next door to us was a woman named Carol and her husband Mike, and they had their sons Scott and Steve. And they were fucking white trash, like crazy, hillbilly. Like I say, Romeo was white trash. It was, and then when they showed up, all of Romeo was just like, "Oh, so this is what it's supposed to be." I didn't know. We immediately all burned our shoes. I mean, it was like that kind of. So she was a crazy hillbilly, and she had 2 sons, Scott and Steve, and also she at the time. I'll get that in a second. So Scott and Steve are across the street, and they're in a fight with Ricky and Timmy Crumb. But a little kid fight, nobody's in a stance. It's just like you're rolling on the ground, everybody's pulling a shirt, and they're arguing, they're screaming, and then they're fighting in the Crumb's yard. And Mrs. Crumb comes outside, and she's like, "Break it up, you animals, break it up!" And she walks over and she reaches into the scrum, and she doesn't pull her kids, Ricky and Timmy Crumb, out of the scrum, the Crumb scrum. She reaches in and she grabs Scott and Steve, and she pulls them out by their hair. And she looks at them, and she smacks them both in the face, like in the back of the head, like, "Psh, psh, get out of my yard, get off my property, get!" And we're there, and they're there, and an adult just hit them, and we're freaking out, because my mom always told us, because that was one thing, my mom's a nut, but she was our nut. Like, if we told her somebody fucked us, she would go beat the hell out of them. Like, she was that person. She didn't care. She'd get right in their face. So we were always told if anything bad happened to go. Well, Scott and Steve get hit, and Carol's just as bad as my mom, so we all are frozen. And then immediately Scott and Steve are like, Mom, Mom! And they start running, and we run with them over to Carol's house. And I should tell you about Carol, like I said, they have Scott and Steve right now, but we go in the backyard of their house, and Carol is, she's 8 months pregnant, maybe even more, 8.5 months pregnant, with her son Mo. Scott, Steve, and Mo. Yes, exactly. And like I said, hillbilly, like crazy white trash. All right, I'll tell you, here's a story. This should explain to you what I mean by hillbilly. Her husband, Mike, was a prison guard at Stateville, and he had a Doberman. They had 2 huge dogs. They had a St. Bernard named Sam, and they had a Doberman named Sharky. So Carol has the baby. She's got Scott and Steve, then she has the baby Mo. Well, when Mo is like 6 months, or I don't know, 10 months, or 4, I don't know, what do you do when you crawl? I have no idea. But he's a baby and he's crawling around in the house, and he crawls into the kitchen, and he goes over to the bag, like the bowl of dog food, Sharky's food, and he reaches into the food, and the Doberman Sharky mauls Mo. And not like, I'm biting you and you're dead, but like, more like, fuck you, baby, body slam, like that kind of thing. Which is bad when you're 6 months. I think you're not supposed to shake them, right? I don't know. Kids. But apparently Sharky did not attend a parenting class, so he just fucking clamps his powerful dog jaws on the 6-month-old, shakes the fuck out of it, and body slams it on the kitchen floor. They gotta take it to the emergency room, her in him, whatever. They take it, and it gets fixed, and then everybody's happy, and they come home, and they kept the dog. I'll tell you all you need to know about that family. So at the time she's 8.5 months pregnant, we run into the backyard and she's hosing out the kennels. And this is a true story. She's got a hose in one hand, that gun hose, and she's hosing. And in her left hand, she's got a hammed beer and a cozy. And a cigarette in her mouth. And again, 8.5 months pregnant, she's wearing those terry cloth tennis shorts, those really, really short terry cloth tennis shorts. She's barefoot, and she's wearing a halter top tied above her pregnant stomach. So it's just a couple of fucking milk bags like that, and a huge pony keg in the front underneath the halter top. Beer, cigarette, hose in one hand, just this baby, just cooking up an awful kid. Just a belly full of felon soup. So she's hosing and drinking and smoking and in the backyard. And like I said, she was my mom's best friend because they would just get high all the time and fucking hang out. And fucking Carol is like a crazy West Virginia hillbilly who, she had no teeth. She had that old plate that you could pop out. I don't know if they do it anymore, but when you were a kid, like you could actually pull your teeth out and it would make that horrible noise that... And then it's just nothing but naked gum and laughs. My mom and Carol getting high, Carol pulling the teeth out to scare the kids in the neighborhood. So my mom and her are great friends. So we run to the backyard, Carol's hosing it out, she's got the fucking beer, the smoke, the crazy pony keg, and Scott and Steve are like, Mom, Mrs. Crum hit us! And Carol just looks, and Mrs. Crum across the street, she hit us! Carol doesn't ask why or how. Carol's got the beer and the hose, and she just goes, I'm gonna kick that bitch's ass. And just walks out toward the yard, just drops the hose, drops the gun, puts the beer down, cigarette in her mouth, walks out. So she goes to walk out of her yard, and I mean straight up hillbilly, like, she's barefoot. She walked across like a field of pumice stone. You know what that is, that lava rock? And didn't even flinch. She's like fucking Robert Patrick in the Terminator, for fuck's sake. She was not gonna be stopped, so she walks out, and we, of course, we gotta tell my mom. So we go running next door, we're like, Mom! We run, and she's like, what, calm down. Mom, Carol's gonna hit Mrs. Crum, because Mrs. Crum, she hit Scott and Steve. What? Carol, she's going across, look, just look! And my mom looks out, and all you see is like Scott and Steve with Carol, and just Carol just fucking Terminator. And my mom is just like, oh, Jesus. So she walks outside, and my mom catches up to Carol, which is great, because Carol's being very Pepe Le Pew about this whole fucking thing. She's just, slow walk. But my mom catches up, and all right, here's my mom. My mom is probably like 5'1", and at the time she was like 170. And it was all like lower body. Like my mom was a weeble. You know what those were? Like my mom is built like a mailbox. You know those blue mailboxes that you put fucking, she's just like fucking round. My mom is a pissed off R2D2. She's just fucking round. That's all I had for R2. So my mom catches up to Carol. And she gets alongside Carol. Now we're out there and we're walking too, so it's like this posse of kids surrounding these two women walking over to fight Mrs. Crumb. My mom's not looking to fight. My mom is trying to calm Carol down. And she's right alongside her. She's doing she's like Tom Hagen. You know what I mean? She's just like, listen, this is not something you should be doing right now. I don't think you can do this. Carol, you're 8.5 months pregnant. You should really stop. We should go home. We should talk about this. We should go ahead and make sure that you don't get involved in any sort of altercation because the baby, you got to think about the baby. We'll take care of this at another time. And that, by the way, that scared the shit out of me, that phrase. Hey, we'll take care of this another time, Carol. Let's just... Why don't you get that kid out of your womb and then we'll go ahead and beat the shit out of these people. So my mom is being crazy calm. She's being really nice, and she's soothingly talking to Carol. As Carol's just fucking walking, Mrs. Crumb is walking out, and then what's weird is the neighborhood gets whiff of it, so they're all coming outside because fight! So it's kids and adults, and my mom walking with Carol, and she's being very dulcet. She's like, listen, Carol, you don't want to do this, you know? And Mrs. Crumb walks out of her house, and she walks down her property line, and she's in the yard. And Carol stops right at the street. She doesn't get on Mrs. Crumb's driveway, but she's standing there, and Carol looks, and she starts yelling at Mrs. Crumb. Mrs. Crumb's like, get the fuck off my property! I said get the fuck out of here! And they're screaming at one another, and my mom is really quiet. She's just looking at Carol, and she's just talking, and my mom is like, my mom's like the hillbilly whisperer. That's what she is. She's just trying to get... And she's trying to get her back home. So she's talking to her, and Carol won't even look at my mom, and Carol's looking right through over here at Mrs. Crumb, and they're screaming back and forth, and my mom is talking, and all of a sudden Mrs. Crumb, out of the blue, for no reason, she's yelling at Carol, and she's like, yeah, you know what, get the fuck out of here, and I'm talking to you too, fat ass! And my mom is talking, and my mom freezes, and she turns. Now, my mom had something that we call the look. As kids. She had to cultivate it because she had no other authority figure in the house. So if you got the look, you knew that anything else you did, you were fucked. Like, you would be dead. Like, literally, maybe even dead. Like, you wouldn't even question it. My mom may kill you. Because she used to say that, I will kill you and make another. She did not care. So we had the look, and I'm sure, like I said, your parents probably had the same thing. Your dad or your mom would give you a look across the table and you know what to do. I'm here to tell you, my mom would make your parents shit their pants, all right? Because my mom was pissed, always, and just fucking, so she turned around, she went from hillbilly whisperer to the fucking look, and she turns around, slow burn, and I won't even do it justice, but she looks at Mrs. Crumb, and me and my brothers just like, oh no, not the look, fuck. Mrs. Crumb, you done fucked up the look. And it's like quiet because my mom wasn't in the fight up to that point. She turned around and just gives him a look, and it was enough. Everybody, what? And then my mom just turns back to Carol. Carol, really, we can take care of this another time. I think we should go in. And then Carol's still yelling, and Mrs. Crumb is still yelling, and then they're getting closer and closer. And then Carol moves up, and she's on the driveway, and she's yelling. And Mrs. Crumb's like, "Get off my property! I said, get off my fucking property!" And she's walking closer, and my mom is standing there, and sure enough, out of nowhere, Mrs. Crumb is on the driveway. Carol is looking at her. My mom's not even looking. And Mrs. Crumb, excuse me, Mrs. Crumb comes down the driveway. Mrs. Crumb is yelling at Carol. Carol's yelling at Mrs. Crumb. And Mrs. Crumb, out of nowhere, sprints down the driveway and attacks my mom. Doesn't even get to Carol, because my mom had turned around and put her back to Mrs. Crumb to try to calm Carol down and keep her from getting on the property. So Mrs. Crumb runs down the driveway, and she's like, I said, get out! And she runs down, and she just starts punching my mom. But she's doing it with lady punches. Like the weird windmill punches where you just hit somebody with like you're serving a volleyball, you know, with the fucking heel of your fist. So my mom has got her back to her, and she comes out and she attacks my mom. She's just beating the shit out of my mom, and everybody's just like, what? And sure enough, my mom is like this. She's getting hit. My mom turns around and does this. Goes into a Tyson defensive shell and rocks back and forth. And we're looking, and my mom's getting hit. My mom's she's absorbing all the shots like on her arms. Mrs. Crumb is wailing, and then Mrs. Crumb is just like, I said, get off my property, get off. And my mom drops her arms and looks at her and goes, when the fuck are you gonna hurt me, Bones? My mom has trash talk, and not like shitty mom jean trash talk, awesome street trash talk. When the fuck are you gonna hurt me, Bones? And there was this weird thing where everybody just went, what? And in one motion, my mom reaches up with her left hand, grabs a handful of blonde hair, pulls Mrs. Crumb forward, right into a fucking uppercut. Boom! And knocks on her ass in her own fucking driveway. Leaves her laying there in the street. My mom's just standing there just... And I tell you what, I'm a huge fan of something called the audible gasp. To this day, I have never heard a louder audible gasp than I did with seeing my mom fucking knock Mrs. Crumb out in her own goddamn driveway. When the fuck are you gonna hurt me, Bones? What? Boom! Oh! Adults, kids, high-fiving, somersault. I think we invented the high-five that day. We invented the high-five on the street. Somersault, people like, what the fuck? What? It looked like Def Jam. It was crazy. And then my mom was just standing there saying, and then Carol comes over, Mrs. Crumb, and the best part is Mr. Crumb is there. Mr. Crumb is on the driveway, watching it unfold. My mom punches his wife in the face, and Mr. Crumb goes. Like a dealer in Vegas, just clapped it out. Got that eye in the sky done. His wife gets blasted, he takes a fucking powder. My mom's standing there just fucking furious, and everybody's going crazy. And then finally he comes down the driveway, hey, because Mrs. Crumb is and he picks his wife up, and he just kind of carries her into the house. And my mom's still standing there looking, waiting for anybody. My mom's like, you remember when Curly would say like, Mo, Larry, the cheese, and he'd go fucking insane? One person does. My mom is just fried, man. And then finally Carol comes, she's like, Pat. And my mom's just like, what? Huh? Because she went away. She wasn't there. Very familiar with that. Said I have 4 brothers. My older brother Lenny, who I will get to in a few minutes. I have my brothers Glenn, Andy, and Scott. And I will tell you this, out of my 5 brothers, I am the only brother who has fought all of the other 4 brothers. I don't say that to brag. I just say that because if you're going to put together an NCAA flowchart of my family, you need to make sure I get to the end of the fucking bracket. My brother, I'll start in reverse order. I'll go in reverse order. My brother Scott is the youngest in the family. And again, rage issues. He's a hothead. He was a good kid, and then all of a sudden he just stopped being a good kid. And then at 18, he got arrested for having coke. And he was in a neighborhood. Here's the thing: he was in a neighborhood with the rich kid that he hung out with, the kid who had a fucking Camaro and had all of his money and all of that stuff. And then he asked Scott to hold something for him when they got pulled over, and they put Scott in jail for like 4 months at 18. So ever since then, he has decided that he's never going to get a break. Convicted felon, I can't get a good job. Oh, I hate everybody in the world. Except for, unbelievably, the rich kid who fucking framed him and put him on. They're still friends. And I'm sure he's holding something for him right now. But Scott is angry, so he serves his time, does his thing, gets out. And then he's living in an apartment with my brother Andy. And then I wind up living with them. See, one thing about my brothers, we have all these rage issues, maybe because we've always lived together in sardine cans our entire fucking lives. We're stepping on each other constantly. We're always around one another, and it's a dynamic that's bad. I mean, we're living in the apartment. There's a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm living in it with my brothers Andy, Scott, and my brother Lenny. And it was just terrible. I mean, we play Sega all day. It was awesome. I mean, we play Sega and have fun until somebody did something stupid, and then 4 guys are like an inch from each other's faces just screaming at one another. Scott was a psycho. He was always crazy mad. And Andy went ahead and joined the Navy and left the apartment and said to Scott, you know what, it's in my name, but I'll go ahead and I'll leave it in my name and the bill's in my name. You just live here and you make sure everything's taken care of. Foolish Andy. Still digging out from the credit avalanche, I think. Because Scott ran into the fucking ground, didn't pay any bills. So I was living there with Scott at the time, because I had just moved back from California. I was living in LA, and I was doing stand-up, And then I was living with a girl, and she set all of my stuff on fire. I'll tell you that story another time. So I had to leave Los Angeles, and I came back to Chicago, and I wound up staying there, living with those guys. And Andy moved, so it was just me and Scott for a while. And Scott, by the way, I told you he went to jail and drugs and all that, but didn't stop him from doing drugs. As I found out one day, because I slept in the living room on a futon. And one day I woke up, I had done stand-up the night before, got home late, slept on the futon, woke up in the morning, and I was surrounded by 4 black dudes in parkas. Surrounded is a strong word. They were just standing there, probably. But it doesn't matter when you wake up in dead sleep and you look like you're all sitting around the set of The Wire. Great. And they looked at me when I woke up and they said, "We're here for the redhead." My brother has red hair, and I didn't care for that sentence, really, because it sounded like he was leaving whether he wanted to or not. So I said, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" And they said, "We're here for the redhead." And then Scott walked out of the back by the bedroom. He's like, "Hey, Mike," and he introduced me to these guys. He goes, "They're here with me." I said, "Okay." And it turned out my brother Scott was buying crack from them. And then they decided to smoke it right there in the living room while I was on the futon just waking up. And they sat down and they lit the pipe up and they're playing baseball and they're passing it around. And my favorite part is one of the dudes in the parkas goes to hit me with it. And I'm like, "Oh, I woke up. I don't, I usually don't smoke crack before I shower. So, but stick around, fellas. I'm in the shower now." I got up and hid in the bathroom until they fucking left. So Scott did not mind taking chances. He was crazy. He was a crazy kid. And we lived together. He was dating a girl named Stacy. He was dating Stacy at the time. And it was one of those relationships where Scott really had nothing going for him except fucking Stacy. That was what he wanted to do. And she was going to college and she had a job and she had a good family, but she kind of enjoyed dating the fucking white trash crack addict kid. So she hung out with him, which was fine. Her family not thrilled, but it didn't matter. Because they weren't there. Usually they didn't come there. When they did, her mom and dad came over. "Hey, let's all smoke crack." So Scott was with Stacy, and the thing is, Stacy was always like on the verge of leaving and doing something. So Scott would do anything Stacy wanted just to make sure she kept coming to the house and banging him. That's all he wanted. When you've got a girlfriend, that's all you have in your life. You want to make sure she doesn't fucking leave. So he would do whatever she said. Anything at all. So one day we're in the house, and we were watching television, and a cat was on, something ridiculous. And she's just like, oh, I would love a cat. And Scott's like, "Why don't you get a cat?" She's like, "Oh, I can't have one where I live." He goes, "Wait a minute. What if we got a cat, and it lived here, and whenever you came over, you could visit it? It would be our cat, but he would live here, and you could come see him all the time." And she's like, "Oh my God, Scott, would you do that?" He goes, "Absolutely, I would do that. That's great." Because he doesn't give a shit. He just wants to keep fucking her. So he's like, "Yeah, of course. What do you want, a horse? We'll keep it in the closet. Let's do this. I love steaks. Where can we buy some? Do it immediately." So he said he's going to get her a cat. And I'm sitting there, and I don't fucking care because I know they're dynamic. So like a week later, he and Stacy come into the house, and she's like happy, like smiling happy. Like Jim Carrey in Orange Tuxedo and Dumb and Dumber happy. You know what I mean? Just like just spinning around, she's thrilled, and Scott's got like a box. And I'm sitting on the couch playing fucking T-ball, and she opens up the thing, and she's like, "Look!" And she pulls out a cat. And not even a cat. Like, it looked like an action figure. I mean, it was the smallest cat I've ever seen in my life. It was so tiny, and it was super cute. I mean, it was all eyes. That's all it was. It was like a Gandhi painting where just, So they pull it out of the box, and they started to romping. Like, they put it on the floor, and he's jumping. He's doing, like, the cutest cat stuff. Like I almost invented YouTube that day, because it was, like, just the craziness. He's leaping. He's like Stacy's spinning. He's leaping. And I'm like, "Oh, that's a cute cat." And Scott's like, "Yes, it's our cat." And I'm like, "You and Stacy?" And he's like, "Yeah, but he lives here." And it's a kitten. And I said, "Oh, okay, well, that's fine." And he goes, "Yeah, he's so cute. We got a litter box." And so they got all the stuff, and they set it up. And it is a cute cat. And I do like cats. But the thing is, Stacy and Scott go to bed, and then they leave the kitten out in the living room where I sleep on the futon. Because that's where the litter box is. And so I would go to sleep, and this kitten, who was rambunctious and cute and fun, in the middle of the night, would carve me up like a fucking ham. Like, I would lay on the futon, and every time I would roll over, it would leap off the bookcase. Ah! Like death from on high. You know, because I don't give a fuck if it's a kitten or cute, it's still a jungle animal. Alright, what the fuck? It's got claws and it's pissed, and every time I move it thinks it's taking down a goddamn yak. It's awful. So I'm waking up and I got cuts on my legs, I got cuts on my arms, I got cuts on my fucking neck. It's crazy. And this is weeks and weeks. And it's still there and it's still cute and it's not growing and it's still fucking me up. And I keep telling Scott, dude, you gotta get this cat fixed. We will. Yes, you've gotta get it fixed. Look, dude, I'm bleeding. There's blood on the futon. Rain on the plow. This land for the nation. This land made us so proud. Alright, so there's blood on the futon. And I show him there's blood everywhere. And he's just like, I get it, we'll fix it. And I'm like, you gotta fucking fix it, you have to do it. So like another week goes by, and at the time I'm dating she's not my wife, Karen, but we're dating. And she's coming over, and you think Scott dating Stacy and her coming and staying with him in the bedroom and stuff? I got a girlfriend who's coming and sleeping with me on the fucking futon. That's unheard of. That's love. So I called her one day, I'm like, hey, you coming over tonight? And she's like, I don't think I can. And I go, well, why not? And she's like, well, last time I was there, T-Ball, he really cut me up bad. Like I have cuts on my arms. And we named the cat T-Ball, by the way. Did I say that? Did we? All right, here's why. We named it T-Ball. Here's why. My brother Andy, when he was living there, he and I would leave the house, and there was a kid who lived in our apartment complex who was very special. He was so special that the local authorities put up a sign to warn you that a special child like him lived in the building. You know what I'm talking about? He's fucking retarded, is this kid, all right? So he's retarded, and he would hang out in the yard downstairs, and this is totally true. In the courtyard of the apartment building, he would wear a full baseball uniform. And he would carry a baseball bat with like a mitt on the end of it, like a Norman Rockwell painting. And he would just stand out there all day by himself whenever anybody would walk by. Me, a grandmother, a mailman, he didn't fucking care. The second you got close enough and he saw you, he'd be like, T-Ball, T-Ball, you play T-Ball with me? And he would hold the pose. And look, I have a soft spot in my heart for anybody who can't communicate, and I feel bad for people that have learning disabilities, but it was fucking hilarious. Andy and I would fucking die. Like we would walk outside on purpose. We would go for different exits. Like Andy would go out the front and do it to him, and then I'd come around the back and he'd wheel and do it to me. It was awesome. So then we started doing it all the time. We would say, T-Ball, T-Ball, you think T-Ball with me? And then we used to play Sega all the time, and we called that T-Ball. Because we're great people. So then, of course, we named the cat T-Ball because it made us laugh every time we said it. Unless it was clawing out my jugular at 2:30 in the fucking morning. So Karen says to me on the phone, she's like, yeah, T-Ball, he really hurt me last time I was there. And I'm like, no, you have to come over. I said, it's fine, you're getting the cat fixed. She goes, well, is he fixed yet? And I go, no, he'll get it fixed. You have to come over. She's like, I don't think I can. And I'm like, fuck that, I will boil this cat. You are fucking coming over. Do not get, no cat is getting in the way of a man and his pussy on a futon. It's not happening. So I'm like, I'll fix it. I'll take care of it. So Scott and Stacy come back later that day, and I look at him and I go, you gotta get this cat fixed. I jump out of the cat. I'm like, you gotta get the cat fixed. And he goes, we will. And I go, no, dude, it's been weeks. I've told you, you gotta get this fucking cat fixed. He's like, well, get it fixed, I promise. And Stacy's like, yeah. And I go, look, if you don't get it fixed today, she takes it. It has to live in her house because I can't fucking have this thing in the house anymore. Look at my arms. Look at my hands. Look at my fucking neck. This thing cuts me up every night. And Scott's like, hey, look, I'm sorry. I'll get it fixed. I'm telling you. And he's getting pissed because he goes from 0 to 60 like me. So I'm in his face. He's in my face. And he's like, well, get it fixed. I go, if you don't get it fixed, let it sleep in your fucking bedroom. He goes, I can't. The litter box is out here. I go, put the litter box in there. He goes, it'll fucking stink. And I go, yeah, it stinks out here and the fucking cat is cutting me up. Get it the fucking fixed or I'm going to fucking take care of it. Or she takes it. He goes, fuck you, I'm not doing it. He walks down the hallway. And I look at Stacy and I go, Stacy, you need to take this cat or you gotta get it fixed today. She goes, well, I know I can't take it, but I don't know if we can get it fixed. And I go, I don't care. You gotta get it fixed. And she goes, I can't. I don't know if you can afford it. I go, I don't care if you can afford it. I can't afford medical bills from these cuts. And now I'm talking to his girlfriend, so Scott's not happy. He comes down the hallway and comes right for me. He's like, hey, leave Stacy alone. I said we'll get it fixed. I go, get it fixed today. He goes, I can't, man. I told you we can't fucking do it. I go, well, then I'll fucking do something. I'll throw this cat out the fucking window. Get it fixed. And And it's funny because the cat now is down at my feet and he's dancing around. He's doing like a little cat dance. I'm like, look at this thing! And I pick it up and I'm furious and I'm yelling at Scott and now I've got a cat in my hand. It's not really a cat so much as it is just a fucking furry rage point for me at this point. And I'm in his face and I'm like, dude, look at this fucking cat. Get it fixed. I can't have it anymore. I'm sleeping there. It's cutting me up. It's cutting my fucking neck, my arms. And when I'm saying this, I have it in my hand and I'm bleeding. It's cutting the shit out of my hand. And I'm like, look, take a look. And he goes, fuck you, dude. I'm not doing it. Put it down. And I go, fuck you. Get this cat fixed. He goes, I'm not. I go, dude, get this cat fixed. He goes, I'm not. I go, get this cat fixed. And I threw it at him. And I didn't toss it to him. And he's a foot away from me, and I threw a goddamn fucking fastball right in his chest with this cat. And it bounces. It bounced. It had a fucking dead cat bounce. Boom! And you know, the good news is, though, the cats always land on their feet, right? No, they don't. No! Not when they're throwing like a goddamn Strasbourg fastball right in his chest, and it bounces off, and it does like a spin, and it lands, and it's just like... trying to look cute with its brains fucking scrambled. And there's just this quiet, and you just see him kind of wobbling, and my brother Scott just goes, dude, you got problems. Yeah, I got problems. Fix that fucking cat. Because I went away. I didn't realize I don't want to throw a cat. I should tell you that the cat was okay, by the way, because I did that story in Philadelphia. And at the end of the show, a woman came up to me and just said, please tell me the cat was okay. And I said, yeah, the cat was fine. She goes, you need to tell people that in the middle of the show. Because I was worried about the cat like the rest of the show. He's fine. As far as you know. My brother Andy is he's the second youngest. He's 4 years younger than me. He was the get-along kid. My brother Andy. All of us had rage issues. We were all fucking angry all the time. But my brother Andy wanted to make sure things were fine for everyone. Like no matter what would be going on, he would try to be the mediator. He would try to fix it. Because he hated any sort of loud noises. He hated any arguments. Because my mom, she beat that into us, man. When I was, like, to this day, I can't hear cabinets slam. Because I get this weird, sick to my stomach. Because my mom would fume and just fucking slam cabinets in her dark modes. So my brother Andy hated it too. So he was always trying to appease my mom and appease whoever was angry. One time, my mom was, again, like I said, single mom. So she had to raise 5 kids and she'd be working. So sometimes she'd cook dinner, sometimes we would. Well, the worst would be when my mom would make a big pot of chicken soup. But in one of those industrial Dutch oven gigantic ones. Because once you walked in, you saw my mom making soup in that, you knew you were eating soup for the next 2 fucking weeks. So you'd walk in the house, you'd be making the soup, and my mom made great soup, but it doesn't matter. 9 days, 10 days, 14 days of soup. I'm not in jail. So you'd walk in and you'd see it, and you'd just be like, oh, the fucking soup. It was the food version of the look. So she's making soup. And one day she made it, it's in the fridge, and we're eating it, we're fucking eating it. We can't stop eating it. Probably the second week goes by. My mom one night is just, I come in the house, she's got the soup on the stove. I'm like, God damn it. We set the table. And it's just me and my 3 brothers. Lenny's gone at this point. So it's just me, Glenn, Andy, and Scott. We set the table. My mom doesn't sit and eat dinner with us ever. We sit down to dinner, my mom goes in the living room and has a fucking crown royal. So we get the bowls out, we spoon out the soup. My mom is pissed about something. She's slamming cabinets. She's just fucking mad. She goes and sits in the living room with her booze. And we're all quiet at the kitchen table. We're just drinking the soup. And we're looking at one another like... We don't know why, just because my mom's mad. So we're just drinking the soup. And mom's like, what the fuck's going on in there? Nothing. So it's super quiet. My mom's in there. We're looking at one another. My brother Andy just goes, soup's real good, Mom. missing a beat. My brother Scotty jumps out of his chair and goes, "Liar!" The chair fell. The chair hit the ground. He leaped out and said, "Liar!" He had Game of Thrones. It was fucking amazing. Just screamed at my mother, "What the fuck's going on?" And they're nothing. Oh my God. So that's Andy. He wants to calm everybody down. So we wound up living at my mom's house. Oh God. Everything had gone to hell. That should be the name of the show. Everything had gone to hell. And we're living at my mom's house, and it's me, Glenn, Andy, and Scott. And we're living in my mom's house with my stepdad, and none of us have jobs, because my mom lives in a place called Coal City, which is worse than Romeoville. Like, Romeoville laughs at Coal City. They're just so... It's like there's 400 people in Coal City. Awful. And 9 houses. So it's small, and there's nowhere to get a job, and only one of us has a car anyway. Things have gone really badly. And what we would do to compensate is we would stay up all night, and we'd play Genghis Khan on Nintendo, and listen to Pearl Jam, and then when we would hear my stepdad, because my stepdad was a nuclear foreman at a power plant, and we would hear the shower go off, and we would immediately turn the TV off, and we would fake like we were asleep. I was 24. and for real, I'm on a couch going, pretending to be asleep. Horrible life. So when we would do that, we would hide. We would hide from my stepdad. We also knew what time, because he would work like 5:10s or 4:12s, like all that kind of bullshit. So we knew when he was coming home, so we would leave. Like we would go to the park, or we would go to the store, anywhere just to be away from him. Because we didn't want to get that look that a 55-year-old man could go to work every day and work 50 hours a week, and his 4 layabout stepkids are playing Genghis Khan in the middle of the night, eating everything he bought. Awful kids. So one day, we decided to disappear the entire day. Andy was the only one with a car, and he had the shit yellow fucking ragtop Cadillac. So the 4 of us go to see Batman Returns, which is the one with the Penguin and the Catwoman, right? I think? I don't know. Yeah? Ronnie?
Yeah.
He knows. It's, thank you. But yeah, it comes out in the summer. We go to see it. And we go to Louis Joliet Mall. And we see the movie because we had scraped together enough money somehow. And we leave. And after the movie, we're coming home. And we're going to avoid Dan. And we're in the car. My brother Glenn goes, Andy's driving. I'm in the passenger seat. And Scott's behind Andy. Glenn's behind me. And Glenn leans forward. He goes, "Hey, put this in this cassette." So I just grab it and I plug it in. And it's some weird, like, it sounds like an orchestra. I can't tell what it is. It's real kind of foreboding. And then it kicks in, and I think I recognize it. And I go, "What is this?" He goes, "It's the soundtrack for Batman Returns." I said, "Where'd you get this?" He goes, "I bought it at the mall after the movie." I said, "Why?" "Well, I wanted it. I love the music. It's awesome." Dude, we weren't even supposed to go to the fucking movie. If Mom sees you bought a cassette tape, she's going to lose her fucking mind. If Dan sees it, he's going to kick us out. He goes, "Well, they're never going to see it." "What do you mean they're never going to see it? You just handed it to me. You think you're going to play it? They're going to hear it? Of course they're going to fucking see it." So I start screaming at Glenn. And Glenn starts screaming at me, "No, you're fucking crazy, man. They'll never see it. I'll hide it." I go, "Well, great. You want a tape to hide. Good for you. You're never getting to play. What, are you going to stare at it and go, Batman? Idiot." So I'm yelling at him, and he's yelling at me. And then my brother Scott gets involved, and he starts yelling at me. And I'm like, "Fuck, what are you yelling at me for?" Yelling at him, he just got us in fucking trouble. This whole thing's coming down. We're gonna fucking go home. They're gonna know we went to the movie. We're gonna know we bought a fucking cassette tape. So the 3 of us are screaming, and we're not even yelling about the cassette tape anymore. It's not about the movie. We're yelling about our shitty lives. That's it. That's the only reason. We're just venting. We're screaming at one another over nothing. Scott's yelling at Glenn. Glenn's yelling at me. I'm yelling at Scott. Scott's yelling at me. I'm yelling at Glenn. It's just fucking circus. We're all screaming. And Andy's driving, and Andy gets involved, and he says something to me. He's driving, and I think he said something like, "Shut up, Mike." What the fuck? So I'm in the passenger seat, and he says that, and I'm not expecting him to say anything, because we're all going at it, and he's like, "Shut up, Mike." So I look at him, and I'm in the passenger seat, he's driving, and it's one of those fucking bar seats, so there's nothing between us. And I look and I go, "What the fuck? Are you talking to me? What the fuck did you just say to me? Say it again! Say it again!" And he looks, and again, if you ever say something and someone looks at you and goes, "Say that again," you have to say it again. Or you're a pussy the rest of your life. Which might not mean anything to you, but to my tiny brain it means something. But I'm trying to shake it. I'm trying to be different. I don't want to be that guy anymore. But back then, fuck that. Say it again! He looks over at me and he's like, shut up, Mike. Like, even he can't understand the big deal about it. He's like, well, I don't get it. My brother's like, whatever, it's no big deal. And I have, of course, I slid over in the chair and I punched him as hard as I could in the face. I slid over and just boom! And then I fucking took my forearm and I pinned him up against the window and I'm going, say it again, motherfucker! Say it again! I'll put your head right through that fucking window! Say it again! And he's driving at 75 miles an hour on I-80. He's on the freeway driving. I've got a fucking fist cocked with my fucking forearm buried in his neck. No, say it again! Say it again! He's like, and he's trying to steer. And my brother's like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Say it again, motherfucker! Say it again! I will fucking put your head through the window! And I'm screaming, and they're screaming, and he's leaning, and he's trying to steer, and he's all fucking crumpled up. And I'm looking at him, and I'm looking out the window, and all I can see is countryside just going by. And then we're in the slow lane, so there's another lane next to us. And then, as we're driving, I see taillights, quarter panel, back passenger seat, and then front seat of a car as we're passing it. And in the front seat of that car, there's like a 90-year-old woman. And she's looking forward, and I got my brother pinned, and I got my fist cocked, and I'm ready to fucking punch his head through the glass. And she looks over, and she sees me, and she goes, oh. And I woke up because I realized what I was doing was crazy. But in the moment, I didn't fucking care. And I do that a lot. But I'm trying to stop. My brother Glenn is the middle kid. And we were fucking awful to him growing up. Oh, were we bad. You know why? Because he didn't like sports. What a dick. He liked science. What a jerk. Fag. So my brother Lenny and I were mean to him all the time, shitty as hell. One day, and he would do things to get attention because he was the middle kid, because he was in a bad position too, because he's 3 years younger than me. And so we lumped him in with Andy and Scott. We're like, oh, they're the little guys. And we called them that for years. Where's the little guys? Where's the little guys? So Glenn didn't get to hang out with us, even though he was only 1 year away from me, and I was 3 away from Lenny. We still didn't have anything to do with him, so he hung out with the other two kids. And he didn't want to do that. He didn't know what to do with himself, so he went into different things. Like I said, science and not sports. He just kind of rebelled, and so we tortured him for it, man. We were awful. He used to wear, one summer, he had a pair of shorts, these terry cloth brown shorts, and he wore them all the time. He loved them, and he wore them every day. And so, we called them Chuckles McBrown shorts. And then winter came, and he didn't wear the shorts anymore, and we still called him Chuckles McBrown shorts. For a year. Constantly. And he hated it, but we didn't care. One time he opened the fridge, and he started to pull stuff out of the door. Everything off the door of the fridge with 2 pieces of bread, and he started putting it on the bread. Pickles, barbecue sauce, liverwurst, Worcestershire sauce, everything but the medicine, jelly. And we walk in and we go, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, I'm making a fridge door sandwich. I'm like, where did you sit on TV? Where did you sit at? He goes, no, I just love it. I love it. It's my favorite thing to eat. We're thinking, really? He goes, yeah, I love everything on the fridge door, so I just put it on a sandwich. I'd love to eat it. We're like, okay. If you make that sandwich, you're going to eat every bit of that fucking sandwich. I don't care. I love it. Barbecue sauce. Fucking like, what was there? Capers. Olives. Hot jardinere. Build the sandwich. Finally gets it on. He's like holding it. He's like, ah. Yeah, go. So he takes a bite and keep going. He's like, well, I'm gonna eat it later. No, you're not. You're gonna eat it now. You eat every bite. He ate like 2 more bites, and then he's like, and he threw up in the sink. I'm sure it was the worst sauce. I don't know what it was, but he threw up in the sink. And he's like, oh. He turns around and he's like, oh. And we're like, finish that sandwich. And he's like, oh, no, I just threw up. We go, finish the sandwich. And he ate every bite of that fucking sandwich. He might have thrown up a couple more times, but we didn't care. Because we're great people. So my brother Glenn gets older, and now, like I said, my brother was our dad. He had to watch us. But at this point in time, he's gone, so I'm kind of the dad. I'm older, I'm probably 16 at the time, which would make him 13. And my mom is leaving the house. It's a Saturday, she's going to look for a new house. They're out house shopping. She's like, all right, you know what, I'm taking off. And I was upstairs in the kitchen, and then there were stairs down to a landing in the front door where my mom is. And then there's more stairs down to our finished basement where the laundry room is. And Glenn is down there, and my mom is leaving. She's like, all right, it's Saturday, you know, the chores have to be done or I can't leave, Mike. So she's like, Michael, make sure that everything's done, because I had the kitchen that day, dishes and all that bullshit. She goes, when Glenn's done, you know, you guys can go out. Glenn, you gonna finish that laundry? He's like, yeah, Mom. She goes, all right, close the washer and dryer, fold everything, and then when you're done, everything's done, everything go out. Good. So my mom leaves to go look for a house. I'm upstairs, I finish the dishes, get stuff put away. I'm done, I just want to leave. So I yell down to Glenn, I'm like, Glenn, did you do that laundry yet? And Glenn goes, fuck you! Well, 13-year-old Glenn finding his oats a little bit. So I go, dude, don't do this. All right, you heard Mom. Until you're done, I can't leave. Did you do the laundry yet? Fuck you, you do the laundry. Are you going to make me come down there? He doesn't say anything, so I walk down the steps. I go, boom, boom. And as I get to the end of the first landing, you hear, boom, 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 like stocking feet as he runs into the laundry room to do the laundry. But I'm halfway down already. So I walk the rest of the way, and I go into the laundry room, and I go right up to him, and he's against the wall, and I pin him against the wall, and I got my face in his face. And I go, why are you doing this? You know Mom said if you're not done, I can't go out. Just do the fucking laundry, and we'll get out of here. And he goes, all right, okay. He goes, but now that you're here, why don't you help? I said, what? He goes, well, Dad, we'll like do a double team on the laundry. He goes, you get the clothes out of the dryer, I'll put the clothes from the washer into the dryer, and then we can both fold them. I'm like, well, I'm not folding shit, but I'll get them out of the dryer. Fine, whatever gets us out of here faster. So I lean over, I open the door, and I go to get the clothes out of the dryer, and my brother Glenn takes the dryer door, and BAM! Hits me in the fucking head with it. I mean, hard. But the joke's on him, because it's a fucking dryer door in 1984. It's like an RC can full of clothes. So he hits me, I think there's like a canoe in the fucking door before it hit my head. And I stand up, and I look at him, and I don't even fucking ask a question or say anything. I just punch him as hard as I can in the face. From a fucking sidearm. Just boom! Arm punch, but still. And it's very important that I point that out. Arm punch, but still, I landed right in the face. And by the way, if you don't think that the alternate title of this show was, and then I punched him as hard as I can in the face. So I throw the straight right, boom, and he cowers and he fucking falls like this, and he's holding his head, and I'm like, do the fucking clothes, all right? I didn't want to do that, they made me come down here, finish the clothes so we can fucking leave. And he's like crying, and he looks up, and when I hit him, his nose exploded. So there's blood everywhere, like all over his fucking chin and his shirt and his face, and he's rubbing in his eyes because he's rubbing his face, and I'm like, dude, no. And there's a bathroom right outside at the door. It's like you go out and turn right. I go get in the bathroom, run the water, and put water on your face, and then tip your head back. It's not broken, just tip your head back. He's like, And he goes in the bathroom, he closes the door, and I'm like, fuck. So I get the clothes out of the dryer, I put the clothes from the washer into the dryer. I go upstairs with a load of clothes, and right about 3/4 of the way up the stairs, it dawns on me, I wound up doing the fucking laundry anyway. So I take the clothes, I put them down, I get into the kitchen, and the front door opens, and it's my mom. And I see her, and she comes in, she's like, hey, I forgot that rental finder. It's up there in the kitchen. Can you hand it to me? That's one of those bullshit pamphlets where they find houses. So I grab it, I lean over, and I go, here you go. All right, take care, see ya. And she's like, yeah, Glenn, did you do that laundry yet? And I go, yeah, Ma, he did the laundry. Here's the basket right here. You can hear the dryers going. She goes, Glenn, I'm talking to you. Did you do the laundry yet? And he doesn't say anything. And then I hear the bathroom door open. And I see my mom, she's looking down there, and he's obviously walking to the stairs. And then I see my mom, and she just goes, what the fuck happened to you? And he comes upstairs. I don't even think he turned the sink on. Blood all over me. Drying on his hands, fucking shirt. It's still pouring out of his nose. And he's like, She said, what the fuck happened to you? And he goes, Mike punched me! Ah! And blood is gushing, and he's crying, there's snot, it's awful. And my mom looks at him, and she looks up at me, and I'm just standing there, and she says, get the fuck out of my house. And now I'm 16, and I got no job, and I don't know where I'm supposed to go, but I know she's serious. So I don't even know if I'm supposed to pack or just walk out. I don't know how she meant it, but I know she meant get the fuck out of her house. And there's no arguing with her at that point. There's nothing. There's really only one thing I can say that gets me out of that situation. 2 black guys came in the house, punched me right in the face.
Dark. Hey, hold on. Okay. This show's long. There should be an intermission in there. There will be someday. Once I decide how to do it and figure it out and all that, but right now, there is not. So if you want to take this time to go to the restroom or smoke, or whatever you people do in this town, go ahead. I'll wait. This makes the show longer. How weird would that be? I should actually put the Jeopardy theme in the little soundstage. It's business talk. Folks. I told you earlier about my brother Lenny. And I said I would get to him in a minute, or I would talk about him later. That minute later has arrived. I said I had 4 brothers, and then my mom raised us. She was a single mom. My father was an alcoholic who disappeared and then wound up drinking himself to death. Put a lot of pressure on my brother Lenny, because he had to raise us. And he had to be the burden of everything. And if we didn't do stuff, me and my little brothers, my mom yelled at him, because he was the one who was supposedly in charge. My mom hung the yoke of responsibility on him at a really young age, and it wore him down. So he was at constant odds with my mom, constantly at odds with me. We would always fight all the time. And it didn't get a lot better. We would have times where we were friends and have times where we weren't. And I should preface this by telling you, my brother Lenny, he's a great guy to everybody else in the world. If you met him, you'd love him. But because of our shared experiences and the things that we had where he was my dad, our whole lives were defined by that relationship. So every time, no matter what age we were, he was 12 and I was 9. He's 30, I'm 27, bullshit. He's 12, I'm 9. Whether we were at work, anywhere. And it became a problem, especially because he went into stand-up comedy, which was fucking weird, because he had never talked about doing it. And then he's in the same business as me, and so we're kind of fighting for the same stuff, but differently. And then he's telling me how to do my act and how to behave and how to do things. And he's 12 and I'm 9. It's the only way I can put it to you. And he actually had a huge falling out with our whole family. This should tell you a little bit about our family. My mom had a falling out with Lenny, and so Lenny and his wife Vesna, they didn't talk to my mom. They now have kids, 2 daughters that I've never met, and my mom has never met, because they are cut off. Lenny, after a huge fight with my mom, sat down and wrote a letter. A letter of calling my mom being a terrible parent, calling her out for all the stuff that happened when we were kids. She got high all the time, called my stepdad some names, came after me for my anger problems, came after my brothers for things, wrote this huge, 3-page letter in an email, and hit send. To everyone in my family, including my mom's sisters, brothers, my aunts and uncles, cousins, my stepdad's family, his kids, sent that note. My mom got that note, printed it, framed it, and has instructed me to put it on her casket at her wake to explain why Lenny is not allowed in the building. and has told me that I am in charge of keeping him out. So not only will I be saying goodbye to my mom, I get to bounce her wig. Not that my brother's going to get an overcoat and 2 kids and a mustache and try to sneak in. But if he does, I get a Michael Corleone. I'm going to get him out of the fucking room. So that's where we're standing. You know, like I said, he had kids. Whatever. I'll tell you this. We got along, like I said, for a long time. We got along great. And my brother, you would know him if you saw him. He is an actor who's been in a ton of shows. Right now he's in a show on MTV called I don't know, it's a British show that they brought over here. It's based in Florida. I don't know. I think he's a gym coach on it. But he's in commercials. He's on it every day. Like, dude, I would have to watch football on Sundays and he would be on with Howie Long selling trucks. Like, he's that guy. He was in Big Love, fucking Bones, and CSI. He's that guy where it's like, hey, we need a guy who looks like a detective, and a guy who looks like a garbage man, and a guy who looks like your neighbor. He's the guy on Law & Order. They go visit, and they go, hey, did you ever see this guy before? Yeah, I saw him before. He had a drink at my place, and he walks off. That's my brother. So he's fucking crazy successful, because everybody loves him. He's a really good guy. Because he didn't raise those people. Because every time I try to deal with him, he's 12, and I'm 9. And we got along sometimes, and sometimes we didn't. One of the times when we were getting along, my wife and I got married. And we moved to Los Angeles. And when we got out here, Lenny and his wife, Vesna, we were getting along. And we were doing stand-up together sometimes and hanging out. And the wives got along great. And then Lenny was like, hey, we want to move back to California too. I said, well, tell me when you're going to do it. I'll keep an eye out for an apartment. We'll see if we can get you out here. It'll be great. So sure enough, they were going to come out in about 3 months. So 3 months went by, and or 2 months went by, and an apartment opened up in my building. And so we said, fuck it, we want it. So we gave them the first and last. We covered them on it. We covered Lenny and Vesna. So Lenny and Vesna were like so happy. They stayed with my mom for a month. Then they moved out. They paid us back. They moved into the building. And they lived fucking, 20 feet from me. It was great. The wives got to hang out. Vesna got to go just to California with Karen. They were all new. And Lenny and I sort of knew the territory. We lived there before. And then, he's doing stand-up. And then when he moved to town, I got him an interview with my agent. Because at the time, I had booked a movie called Basketball. And then I booked a commercial agent. And I wound up getting... that happened. What if you played, literally music? It was something I forgot. I wrote it down. Damn! So Lenny and I would go do stand-up together and stuff. So he comes out to LA, and I introduced him to my agent, and I had booked commercials. I booked Basketball, and I booked a Power Bar commercial that never aired, but I booked a Coors commercial with David Spade, and it was like I was doing well. So when you're doing well, your agent is like, hey, are there any more like you at home? And I brought my brother in, and they signed it. Hard to get an agent, hard as fuck, but they signed him just because I brought him in and they liked him. So it was great, man. He had an agent, he had a place to live, and a couple of months go by, and then he calls me up and he's like, dude, you know what? I kind of want to pay you back for all the cool stuff you've done, so I got us a gig. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I go, dude, where's the gig? And he goes, I got us a gig. It's in Mesquite, Nevada. It's stand-up at a casino. He goes, I'm going to headline, you're going to open. But it's great money. It's like you do 20 minutes, you get $300. And here's the thing. I'd been in town for like 6 months. I'd already worked Mesquite twice. Because I had other comedian friends who brought me out there. And when I did it, I opened. But here's the thing. In comedy, if you fill the same slot too many times, that's all they'll see you as. So I wanted to be a headliner. And I didn't want to go and be the opener because that's all they would see me as. Headliner got $600 for 40 minutes. And the opening guy got 20 minutes for $300. And the only reason I hadn't pushed a headline was because I was not sure I could fill the 40 minutes on stage. So... That took a second. So... I said, dude, I didn't want to turn it down because he was doing a nice thing and he thought he was giving me like a reward sort of thing. And so I said, all right, and he goes, come on, dude, we'll bring the girls. And I don't think he said the girls because he's not Frank Sinatra, but he did say, but he said, we'll bring the girls and our wives and, Karen and Vesna will have a good time. And it was a Saturday show. And he goes, we'll drive up together, it'll be fun. And I went, all right. I said, here's the thing. If we go, I have two things. I go, I'm excited, we'll go, it'll be fun, but I only have two requirements. He goes, shoot, that's fine. I go, all right, one, we have to have lunch at the Treasure Island Casino Coffee Shop. He's like, that's really specific. Why? I said, well, it was when Karen first went to Vegas with her family, they would meet in the morning at the coffee shop and plan their day, separate, and then get together that night at the coffee shop to talk about their day. It's a special place for her. She really likes to go. He's like, all right, yeah, that's fine. We can go have lunch there. And I go, and two, we have to stop in Barstow because there's an outlet mall there and I have to buy underwear and socks. And he's like, are you serious? I said, yes. Because, folks, I buy my underthings in the desert. I like them dry. But it's a Hanes store, it was cheap, and I was fucking poor. So I'm like, let's do this. He's like, all right, yeah, no, who cares? That's fine. I said, okay, great, we're in. He goes, okay, you drive? And I said, yes. Because I had a much nicer car than him. I had bought like a new Altima that year. So I said, yeah, I'll drive. And that was kind of, I understood he was giving me the gave as a payback, but also he wanted me to drive because I had a nicer car. But that's fine because I worked in the Midwest as a road comic, and I would drive all the time. The way it would work is the middle guy would drive, and the headliner would go with you, and then the headliner would just pay for all the gas. It was a great arrangement because they made almost, sometimes triple, what you made on the road. So I'm putting all the wear and tear on my car, I'm doing all the driving, headliner picks up the gas, I didn't mind at all. It was great. The team up, it worked out perfect. So I said, yeah, that's fine, we'll go. So a few weeks go by, a month goes by, I think it is, and then we're going to go to the gig. So it's Saturday, we're getting ready to go, and I get the car gassed up, and we get the car packed, and we roll out, and we head to Mesquite. Mesquite is an hour past Las Vegas. So it's about 350 miles from my apartment. So you get on the road, and it's fucking, it's hot, it's through the desert. So we're driving, we're rolling, and we come upon Barstow, like I said, where that outlet mall is, but I don't want to stop at the outlet mall there, I'm going to stop on the way home. And as we're driving, there's Barstow, and Lenny's like, and it's only 100 miles, Barstow, from my house. So we're driving, and Lenny's like, dude, stop in Barstow, let's eat. And I go, no, we're going to eat, we'll eat later. So I thought we were going to the coffee shop. And he's like, no, dude, I want to eat an In-N-Out burger. Let's get an In-N-Out burger right here. And I was like, oh, all right, well, that's fine. He goes, yeah, we'll gas up, it's fine. I said, cool. So we pull in. I go, I don't need gas, I gassed up before we left. He goes, no, that's fine, let's get gas. He goes, I got to hit the head anyway. I'm like, all right. So I pull into the gas station, and he goes and looks at me, and he goes, all right, I'll get this one, you get the next one. And I went, no. I go, you'll get all of it. He said, what do you mean I'll get all of it? I said, you'll pay for the gas. I'm driving, so you pay for the gas. He goes, why would I pay for all the gas? I go, because you're the headliner, you're making double what I'm making, I'm driving my car, it's the way it works. Every time I did it in Chicago, the headliner pays for gas, it's the way it works. He goes, I'll get this one. He goes, we'll talk about the next one. I go, no, we're not going to talk about it, you're going to get all of it, you pay for all the gas. But again, he's 12 and I'm 9, so he thinks he can fucking tell me what he's going to do. And I usually just capitulate because he fucking whines, my brother, and he just won't stop. He's like, it's funny, you see Shawshank, you think Tim Robbins is relentless with the spoon? My brother is that spoon. Digging at your fucking wall until he can burst through and get whatever the fuck he wants out of it. So he goes, I'll get this one. So he goes inside, pays for the gas, comes out, gets in the car, and we split. Gets his burger, we drive. Get to Mesquite. Bullshit, I paid for the gas. We had the fight. Goddamn, I can't believe I'm this confused. I paid for it because we got in the fight, and I said, I'll get this one if you want to get the next, whatever the fuck, who cares? No one cares. It's only the most crucial part of the story, who cares? Idiot! No, he paid for the gas the first time, whatever, who cares? So I walk. We drive, we go to Mesquite, and we go in, we go to the show, and like I said, we check in the hotel, we go in, it's a huge show, and it's really nice. It's gigantic. And I go out and I did okay. He goes out and he kills because he's Lenny. And they love him, they carry him on their shoulders. I mean, everybody, he has this, he's so likable. He has that likable thing that I don't have, that he just fucking walks along and everybody's like, yay! And so we walk out of the room, and everybody's glad handing him, they're like, Lenny! And he's playing craps, they're like, Lenny! And he's sitting down, and he's playing fucking like roulette and blackjack, and we had food coupons, and I wanted to eat. And I'm like, dude, are we gonna eat? Are we gonna eat? And finally he's like, yeah, let's go eat. And he's been drinking, he's like drinking tequila, my brother. So he's got a heat on, and we go into the restaurant. And they had crab legs and a buffet because it was a free buffet they gave in. So we eat, And he goes, dude, let's split the tip. I'm like, dude, you just made double what I made and I fucking drove. You can't get the tip? He's like, I don't have any change. You know what, you get it, I'll get you later. He walks out. So now I'm in for that. So I put the tip in and Karen's like, you gotta calm down. And I go, all right, I understand. But she doesn't understand because he's 12 and I'm 9. We walk out and he's playing and I look at him and I go, look, just remember we're leaving in the morning. We're leaving, okay? We're leaving tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. He's like, I got it. Woo, craps. And so I leave and I go to my room and I'm sitting there just fucking steaming and Karen's just like, relax, it's okay. And I go, you don't understand. This is what he does. He does it all the time. She goes, we'll be fine. So we go to sleep. Get up the next morning at 8, get showered, get ready to pack the car. 9 o'clock comes, he does not show up. 9:15 comes, he doesn't show up. 9:30, he does not show up. And I look at Karen and I go, all right, I'm going up there. She goes, just call the room. Call the room. So we call the room, he doesn't answer at 9:30. 9:30 becomes 9:45. And Karen's distracting me with college football. 9:45 becomes 10 o'clock. And I go, I can't deal with this. I'm going up there. So I go upstairs and I pound on the door. And I have to pound like 3 times. Finally he answers. He's like, huh? He's not even dressed. Hair's all fucked up. He's half asleep. I said, what are you doing? He goes, what? What time is it? I go, it's fucking 10. We're supposed to leave at 9. He goes, all right, well, we'll get showers. We'll be right down. I go, no, fuck a shower. I told you we gotta leave. Because we gotta go to that mall. We gotta go to fucking lunch. He's like, all right, fine. We'll be right down. And he closes the door and he locks it. And I'm standing in the hallway and I go downstairs. And I look at Karen and I go, he says he'll be right down. And she's like, all right, well, he'll be right down. Relax. And 10 o'clock becomes 10:30. And 10:30 becomes 11. And then 11 becomes 11:30. And she won't let me go up and pound on the door. I'm calling, he won't answer. And finally at 11:30, they come downstairs. Their hair's wet. They took showers. Grab their stuff, put it in the car. He's like, all right, let's go. I said, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, I told you to get down here. I told you we had to leave at 9. Come on, we're here now. Let's just go. It's just going to be longer. Because again, he's 12 and I'm 9. And he's going to fucking make me what he wants me to do. So I drive away and I go over to the gas station. I pull up. I turn the car off and I wait. And he sits in the back seat. And he goes, what? I said, dude, you paying for the gas. He goes, come on! Why the fuck do I have to pay for all the gas? I go, you have to pay for the gas because the headliner pays for gas. You made double what I fucking made. You drank all night. You didn't even tip for fucking dinner. And now you're going to sit in the backseat and be an asshole. We're 2.5 hours late. Pay for the gas. He goes, I'm not paying for the fucking gas. Why should I pay? I go, headliner pays for gas. That's the way it works. He goes, I never did it like that. I go, that's why you're a fucking asshole. You won't pay for gas. I fucking drove my car, did all the driving. I brought you here. You made double what I made. Pay for the fucking gas. He goes, I'm not paying. He sits in the back seat, and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at the clock. Time's ticking. And he won't get out of the car. I go, you're not paying for the fucking gas? He goes, no, I'm not. Fuck you. Pay for the gas. I go, fine. You don't have a say in the rest of this trip. Not one fucking word. He goes, fine, I don't care. I said, good. He goes, as long as I'm back in LA by 7. I said, why? He goes, I have a gig at the Improv at 8 o'clock. I said, oh, you got to be back in LA by 7 o'clock? He goes, yeah. I said, good luck. Got out of the car, filled the car with gas. Got in and we drove. And it's like 75, the speed limit in the desert. But I was feeling a little cautious. So I start driving. I'm going about 60, 65 in the slow lane. I don't want to interrupt the people who are fast. And I'm driving, and he's in the back seat, and he and his wife are kind of giggling and laughing back and forth, like, haha, because he's a fucking dick. And I have the radio cranked up, and I'm just driving, and my wife's looking at me, and she's like, don't worry, calm down. But she doesn't understand, because this has been since we were kids. He's 12 and I'm 9. Fuck, he's done it our whole lives. So we're driving, and like I said, I'm going about 60 miles an hour, and we finally get to Vegas. It's about 2:30. And I go to Vegas, and I go to exit. And he goes, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? And I go, we're going to stop for lunch. He goes, well, no, just stop in Barstow. We're fucking In-N-Out. And I go, no, dude, I told you. We're going to the Treasure Island coffee shop for lunch on this trip. We would have gone on the way here, but you wanted in and out then, so now we're going now. He goes, you were serious about that? I go, yeah, I was fucking serious about that. We're going to lunch. So I pull off, and he's like, fuck! He's in the backseat, pissed. And I drive, and I pull into the Treasure Island parking lot, and there's 2 different driveways. One you can go South Park, and one you can valet. Folks, I'm fat. I always valet. So I turn in, and I start to go valet, and he goes, no, don't valet, it takes longer. I go, fuck you, it's not your trip. And I go to pull into valet, he goes, come on. I go, dude, I don't work for you, shut the fuck up. Our wives are very comfortable at this point. But they don't know why, because he's 12 and I'm fucking 9. So we pull in, I get valeted, we walk in, we go to the coffee shop, he flops down in his chair, and my brother does a few things when he gets really mad or frustrated, or he's just trying to get to you, and he's trying to bother the shit out of you. He starts doing this. Like sighing and flopping his arms and rolling his eyes. Oh, whatever. So he's doing that at the table. They bring the menus, he takes their menus and he goes, we're not eating. He puts them down. And I go, I don't care. I open the menu, my wife opens it. My wife kind of has a usual there. She loves to go there, she knows what she wants. So I go, are you getting exactly what you always get? She goes, yeah. But I, however, I've decided to check out the menu for whatever options I could possibly enjoy that afternoon. I haven't been there in a while. It's a coffee shop. They could have added, how many dishes could they have fucking had? So she comes up, they had something called a soup of the day. What? I asked her about that. I asked her about the club sandwich. I said, how do I have to get in the club? Is there a newsletter? How does this work? I'm asking these questions and Lenny's just, he's so pissed. He's directly across from me, just staring a hole through my fucking head. And he does another thing when he gets frustrated and pissed. He bites his knuckles, like this. And he has callous knuckles. He bites the shit out of him, at least he used to. And he's fucking biting his knuckles and he's staring at me like a goddamn animal, just looking right at me. And I'm perusing this fucking menu like an idiot. So I'm asking questions. I'm asking about relish, salad dressings, and finally I order my food. I order Karen's food. And Lenny finally goes, fuck it, we'll eat. I go, I don't give a shit if you eat. I don't care. And he takes the menu and he orders Vesta some soup of the day. And then he gets himself, I think he got the club sandwich. So they leave. The waitress, and I'm sitting there with Karen, and Lenny's there with Vesta, and he's staring at me, and he also does another thing. He bounces his leg like this, like really fast. So he's bouncing his leg, he's chewing his knuckles, and he's exhaling, and he's staring right at me. And I'm just staring at him, and I'm looking, because I'm not going to deal with it. He's not going to be 12, and I'm not going to be 9 this time. He's not going to get away with it. He won't get what he wants. They bring the food. My wife has her food, they bring their food. I don't even know, I didn't even see Vesta do it. Lenny unhinges his jaw like a snake and swallows his entire lunch. I mean, just gone. He's just like face Roomba. He just dumps over it and gone. Every plate clean, and then I think he had like a crazy straw he put in her soup to help her finish that. Because they're done in fucking seconds. So they fucking work that, and Karen's eating, and meanwhile, I'm eating like a king in 18th century England. I have a napkin tucked into my shirt. I'm waiting for a pie with birds in it to sing me a fucking song. I don't care. Bring me a fife. I'm just fucking with a fork in the air. Actually, I took like Lady and the Tramp. I nudged a meatball over to my wife, and we shared a noodle. I didn't even order spaghetti. I don't know where the fuck it came from, but I did. We're eating, and he's just fuming, and he's exhaling, he's biting his knuckle, and he's popping his leg. He goes, fuck it, we're going to go gamble. So he gets up and he goes, come on, Vess. She goes, they skulk off. And I'm trying to be cool, but I'm so tense, like my fucking arms, everything. I'm furious. And, he used to beat the shit out of me when we were kids. That was the thing, is I never, I only hit him back one time. I hit him once and ran like a motherfucker. Punched him and ran. And then fell down in the street and he beat the shit out of me in the street in front of me. So we've got that dynamic from 12, and it's always there. So Karen looks at me and I'm eating, and she just goes, Michael, we really didn't have to stop here. I go, don't. Honey, don't do that, because that's what he wants. He wants you to turn against yourself and us to turn against each other. And she's like, he's not Genghis Khan. Like, what the fuck? He's not this Sun Tzu. We're just having lunch. And she's like, that doesn't make any sense. I go, trust me, he's done it to kids. It's no big deal. He pushes buttons until he gets what he wants. He's done it our whole lives. So I would enjoy your lunch. So we eat. We finish. They don't show back up. So I get up and I go to valet. They're not sitting there waiting for me. So I got to go back in and find them. I go to the casino. They're not gambling anywhere really readily available. They're back in a corner. So I find him and I go, dude, we're leaving. He goes, fine, fuck. He gets up and they walk off and we go outside and the car's there. He goes, you didn't get the car? I go, no, I didn't get the car. He goes, why didn't you get the car? I go, fuck you, why didn't I get the car? You're not Elvis. So I hand him the ticket, they bring the car, he's fuming, he's being a dick. We get in the fucking car and we drive. And we're driving and the radio's up and the wind is blowing and he's in the back laughing with his wife and they're whispering to one another and they're pointing and I can see him in the fucking mirror and I know what they're doing. And Karen is nervous and she's just rubbing my leg and trying to calm me the fuck down. And I am just waiting to pull over and dump my brother's body in the fucking desert with Joe Pesci. I don't care. So we're driving and we took time at lunch, we were there, and he's got to be back, like he said, at 7 o'clock. Well, we come up upon, we're about 100 miles from my place, and it's 5 o'clock. I could get him home pretty easily. And we start to come upon Barstow, which is where my outlet mall is. But in my head, I'm like, you know what, dude? This has gone on long enough. You're torturing Karen. It's ridiculous. There's no point in stopping. You're just going to prolong the fucking agony. Just get him out of your car. So there's 3 exits to Barstow. And I can see him in the rearview mirror. And he's not looking at me. He's looking out the window. And he's got a knuckle in his mouth and he's bouncing the leg. And I'm in the far right lane where you can exit for Barstow. So we're coming up. And there's the first Barstow exit. And I'm driving. And again, like I said, this is pointless. So I'm getting there. And he's staring. And I can see him looking out the window. And I know in his head, he's just going, don't go to Barstow, 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 don't go to Barstow. And I approach the exit for Barstow and I turn on my turn signal and I merge into the center lane. And I see him visibly still with the knuckle in his mouth. So I come upon the second exit for Barstow and I can see it in his eyes. He's looking out and he's like tense and I'm tense. And he's, oh, don't go to Barstow, 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 don't go to Barstow. And I'm in the center lane, and I look, and I kind of I go to hit the, I don't. I just, you know what, fuck it. It doesn't make any sense. Go home. So I'm driving, he's in the back seat, he exhales, his wife's back there, just unaware. And the third exit comes up for Barstow. And again, like I said, I'm in the center lane. And I realize this is silly. It's just a fucking war we've had since we were kids. And my wife's there, his wife is there. We're grown-ups. I'm in my own car with my wife. So we come up on that third exit, and he's going, don't go to Barstow, 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 don't go to Barstow. And as we get to the third exit, I'm in the center lane, and I just said, you know what? Fuck this. And I just swerve across 2 lanes. And he's in the back seat, and he just goes, fuck! And I pull up, and he just goes, dude, you were fucking serious about this? What are you doing? I go, that outlet mall. He goes, you're buying underwear. You're buying fucking underwear. I go, yeah, I buy my underthings in the desert. Fuck you, I told you I was stopping. So I pull up, and I get into the mall, and he's like, dude, fuck it, we're not going in. I go, I don't care, sit here. Who cares? I don't need you to buy my underwear. Fine. And I fucking get out of the car, and Karen gets out with me, and we close the door. I take the keys, of course, and I lock it. And I go walking, and Karen's with me, and I'm holding her hand, and she's like, Michael, you didn't have to stop. I could have come back. I go, don't do this. Don't do it, honey. I love you. Trust me, okay? Don't do this. He does it all the time. He's pushing buttons, because again, she doesn't know. He's 12, and I'm 9. So we keep walking, and we're walking through the parking lot. Finally, we get right to the mall, basically like the outdoor part, and I hear him. He opens the door, and he goes, fuck, whatever, and he slams the door. And she gets out, Vesna, and she slams the door, and they're walking, and I hear Vesna, she's like, Lenny, you gotta calm down. He goes, you don't understand, he's just being a fucking asshole. He's doing this on purpose just to be a dick to me. Fuck him, fuck you. He's yelling at me, and I don't care. I just walk in, and I get to the outlet mall, and he's behind me, he's walking up, and I can hear him griping and bitching, but I don't fucking care. And I get into the mall, and I just gotta go into the Hanes store and pick up underwear and socks, and I've been there so many times, and I realize there are so many shops in this mall I have never stopped in. It's amazing, I like candles. So I head into the candle store, I'm looking around, I'm browsing. I'm like fucking Rodney Dangerfield, I'm browsing. I walk in, I look at that stuff, and then I see, unbelievable, I had no idea it was even fucking there, a music store. And not like a combination music store. They not only sell CDs, but they sell musical instruments. That's fucking perfect. I walk in and I pretend like I don't know anything at all in the world about music. Like I've never heard music in my life. Like I walk up to the counter person and I'm like, hi, can I buy a treble clef and bring it to my house? That would be great. Hey, do you happen to have a cowboy come and get it dinner bell that I could buy? Because my band really needs a triangle at this point. I walk around, I look at CDs, and they have all these old like CDs that are cutouts. You know what I mean? Like, they're old stuff that nobody wants. So I'm looking at people that I wouldn't fucking pour water on if they were on fire. I don't care. But it doesn't matter. I'm picking it up like Phoebe Snow. Fantastic. I can't believe you have this. Janice Ian. Oh, Al Hurt. Love it. I'm looking at everything. Finally, I get to the Z's, and I see something that I had never seen before in my life. And I'm like, this I really wanted. I was stunned. They had all these color-coded double live CDs of Frank Zappa called You Can't Do That on Stage Anymore. And it was like volume 1 through volume 8. And they're double albums. And they're only like, I think, $7.99. So I fucking scooped them all up. I'm like, God, dude, I'll pick this up. So I grabbed those, and I took like 5 of them, and then I took the other 2, and I took the price tag off, just in case they needed to go ahead and do a price check on those. Is that going to continue? Maybe? Are you landing a plane? Tell me if the plane shows up. We're about 4 days late. So I grab this music and I have them do a price check on some of the stuff, and I scoop it up and I buy it, and I walk outside and with Karen, and I look out there, and Lenny's in the mall. He's not in a store, he's in the mall, in the center of the mall, sitting by the fountain on a bench is his wife, but he's standing up, and he's just looking at me, and and I'm like, relax, and he's like, he's furious, and I give Karen the bag of Zappa. And she walks over. I go, I got one more stop. I'll get the stuff. It's fine. And then I go into the underwear store. And I'm in the Hanes store, and I'm looking around. And I'm like, I know where to find boxer briefs. I know where to find socks. However, I had never known they had such a selection of T-shirts here in these places. So I start looking at white T-shirts for the first time in my adult life. And I'm browsing and looking around. And then in my head, literally, I see Karen through the window, and she's just standing out there with the bag of Zappa. Doesn't know what to do, because obviously there's been a demarcation line, signs have been taken, lines have been drawn. So she's alone. And in my head I go, fuck, what are you doing? Again, childish, stupid. She didn't live through this. She doesn't need to be punished for this. Get your shit and get the fuck out of here. So I walk through, I grab the box of briefs, grab like 4 packages, grab some socks, put them on the stand. Woman rings me up, I pay for them. She goes to put them in a bag. As she's bagging them up, the front door gets kicked in. And there's a bell on it. That's why I know it's kicked in. It didn't open gently. All I know is I'm facing the cashier, and I hear clang, clang, clang! And I turn around, and you see the door slam and then go like this, and he comes in. And he's fucking furious. And he just storms right for me, just fucking like coming right at me. He goes, what the fuck is your problem? And I'm standing by the counter, and she's bagging up my stuff. And I go, Lenny, I paid, we're square, we're getting out of here. He goes, fuck you! I told you I needed you back in LA by 7 o'clock. You're fucking around in here, you're fucking around in a music store, you're a dick. You're just doing this to be a fucking asshole. I told you I needed to be at the Improv at 7! I said, dude, I told you I don't give a fuck. I told you to pay for gas, and I'm leaving. I'm packing up right now, we're leaving, stop yelling, we're cool, everything's good. He goes, fuck you, we're cool. What, are you pissed? Are you pissed because you've been here fucking longer and you can't get anything at the Improv? Because I'm fucking twice the comic you are? Is that what you're fucking pissed about? God damn it, you're a fucking asshole. I want to get home. I told you I needed to get fucking home. You stop for lunch, you stop here. You're a fucking dick. Fuck you! And he hits me. He hits me in the chest with a 2-hand. And at the time, I'm fat. I'm like 6'2", probably about 480. He's 5'10", 5'11", 235, still solid. Hits me in the chest. I don't fall, but I go back. And I can't believe he hit me. And there's people shopping, and the woman at the counter is just frozen. And this is it. He's done this my whole life. He's 12 and I'm 9. He pushes me around and gets what he wants. Not this time. I look at him, and I look at her, and I go, call the cops. She goes, serious? I go, did you see him hit me? She goes, yes. I go, then call the cops. And he goes, oh, call the cops. You fucking pussy. Really? You're gonna call the cops. I'm out here with my wife, and you're gonna bitch around all fucking day, and you're gonna call the fucking cops because I hit you? You're not a man? You can't fucking take care of yourself? Fuck you. You know what? I shouldn't even come in here. You're in here buying fucking underwear. You are a fucking pussy. Fuck you. And he turns around and he walks out. And I'm shaking. I'm vibrating. Because he was an inch from my face. The cashier's looking at me. Everybody in the fucking building is looking at me. I just got called a pussy fucking 5 times to my face and hit. And didn't do anything about it. And it's the way it's been my whole life. He's 12, I'm 9. He does whatever he wants and I fucking let him do it. It's not happening again. I'm standing there. He walks out. I'm shaking and I say, fuck this. It ends. It ends today. It fucking ends today. And I go for it. And I just walk. And I walk as fast as I can. And I walk as hard as I can. It's foot stomps, moving, on the move. I get to the door and I'm like, oh, you want to kick in the door? I'll kick in the fucking door. And I rip it open and the bell comes off. Clang, clang, I hear it fucking sail off. And I walk and I'm hulking up. Because every step I take, I'm getting bigger. And I'm fucking green, and my shoes are tearing off, and my pants are fucking tearing off. And every step I take, I'm getting closer and closer, and I'm gonna fuck him up. Because it ends here. He's 12, I'm 9. I put up with my whole fucking life. I walk, step, 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 and I come around, and I turn the corner, and I see him. He's in the center of the mall, standing there, basically center ring, in the middle of everything, laughing, smiling, huge grin on his face, because he won. All he wanted to do was get me to hustle. All he wanted was pep in my step. He wanted me to fucking move. But he doesn't realize that this time I'm moving and I'm going right fucking through him. I come out and I turn the corner and he's standing there and he's waiting. He knows we're gonna fight. He can't wait. And he's fucking bouncing and he does this weird thing where he takes his right hand and does this. And I'm like, all right, well, left hand the second I walk up because he's fucking rocking his right. And I'm moving and I'm step, 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 step. Fuck you. This ends today. You're 12. I'm 9. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you right here and it's never gonna end until it ends right now. And I fucking clean house and I'm getting closer and closer. And his wife is sitting on the bench and he's standing at the fountain and I'm taking steps and I'm getting madder and madder and I'm approaching and I'm getting closer. And then his wife gets up and she gets between us. And she looks at me as I'm walking. I'm storming toward her husband. She puts her hand up and goes, Mike, you need to calm down. Now this happened, and I'm not proud of it, but it fucking happened. Because I didn't even see her. She stood up, she put her hands out, and she's like, Mike, you need to calm down. I need to calm down. Why the fuck doesn't your husband need to calm down? I'm looking past her. I'm doing a 1,000-yard fucking stare right into his eyes. He's behind his wife, smiling, waiting, daring. Can't wait till I fucking show up. But now his wife's between us, and I get there, and I grab her, and I lift her up, and I fucking throw her as far as I can. I don't even fucking think about it. I grab her, and I pitch her right over the fucking bench, half into the goddamn fountain. Hits the cement. But the problem is, I know that's wrong. I know it's wrong now, and I know it was wrong then. But I did it. But when I did it, I went from Hulk to Bruce Banner. And all of my rage went away. Right into my brother. Because he caught it and he looked and he goes, you hit my fucking wife! And he punches me in the face. And I go down and he proceeds to kick the shit out of me in the middle of this wall. I'm on the ground and all it is fucking knees and elbows and kicks to the face and I don't know what's happening. Because when you're in a fight, if you're in a fight on the ground and it's happening, you're not registering being hurt. You're registering pressure and you know you're getting hit. But all you're trying to do is scramble for purchase and do anything. And I'm big, so all I'm trying to do is get a double leg on him. I want to get him and I want to fucking put him on his back and use my weight to at least get up or get away from her cause of separation. But he's kicking me in the face and he's fucking, I just hear screaming and noise. It's like being in a wind tunnel and you're getting pushed around. You don't know what the fuck is happening. Finally, I grab a leg and I spin him, and I stand up, and I go, and I jump back, and I go, that's it! Fuck you! Stay here! You can stay in this fucking mall forever! You're not getting back in my car! You're not heading home to Los Angeles! The Improv! You're not getting back to your fucking apartment! Let's go, Karen! We're getting the fuck out of here right now! Stay here! I turn around and I walk off. My wife freaked out, bag is out, but she goes walking. We walk to the edge of the mall, and he goes, fuck you! You're taking me home! I go, fuck you! I'm not! He's taking care of his wife. He's picking her up, and I'm waiting, wheeling for the car, and we're moving. And he's like, fuck you, you're taking me home. And I go, fuck you, I'm not. He goes, fuck you, pussy, you're taking me home. And I've got Karen by the hand, and I'm not dragging her, but I got fucking business to take care of. So I'm like, let's move. We're moving. And she's like, Michael, oh my God, are you okay? I go, I don't know. Let's go. We got to get in the car and we got to get the heck out of here. We got to get the heck out because I'm trying not to swear in front of her, calm her down. And she's like, what? I go, we got to leave right now. She's like, well, but you can't, you just, and I go, honey, listen to me. We got to go. And I hear him now. He's behind me and he's fucking walking. He's like, fuck you, you're taking me home. Fuck you, I'm not. Fuck you, you're taking us home. Fuck you, stay here, right here. I don't fucking care. Honey, let's go. We get to the car. Now here's the thing. We get to the car. I'm going to open the front door. I need you to jump in and lock all the doors and don't let him in. Because apparently, my wife is now in a Japanese game show. And she says, what? I go, I'm going to open the car, and you've got to jump in and lock the door. I go, no matter what happens out here, I will take care of it. I don't care if we fight till fucking tomorrow. I don't care if he kills me. You're safe in the car. You're locked in. Just get in there, lock the doors, don't let him in. She goes, Michael, I don't think I can do this. Honey, I'm going to open the front door. I'm going to count to 3. You're going to jump in. She goes, Michael, I don't. I go, it's okay. Stay with me. 1. Fuck you, you're taking me home. Fuck you, I'm not. 1. Honey, I'm going to open the door. 1, 2, 3. And as I say 3, I go to open the door, and my brother had been running. And I didn't realize that because Karen hesitated when I opened the door. She's like, Michael, I don't. And as she's saying that, he fucking blasts me from behind with a fucking hockey body check. And I go flying, and I land fucking chest first on the cement, and he jumps in my fucking car, hops in the back seat, unlocks the door, and goes, get in, Vess! And she does. And they're in the back seat. And I'm on the ground. And I stand up, and Karen's like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I go, it's not your fault. Don't worry about it. Stop. I go, get the fuck out of the car. He goes, fuck you, pussy. Take me home. Let's go. Fucking take me home now, pussy. Let's go. Get in the fucking car. We're leaving. And I look down and I go, get out of my fucking car. He's like, get out. I go, get out. And I get up to the window, and I go, of my fucking car. And I headbutt the window. And he's looking at me, he's like, fuck you. And he's laughing. And he looked at me, and he's like, fuck it. No, it's not. Fuck you. Take me home, pussy. And I fucking get in the car. I tell Karen, I go, stand aside. And I get in the passenger seat, and I go, Karen, just back off. I sit down, and I don't even look at him. I sit in the passenger seat, and I'm looking out the window. And I go, get the fuck out of my car. He goes, no. I go, get the fuck out of my car. He goes, fuck you, pussy, take me home. I get out of the car, and I lean in. And I look at him in the face. And I say, if you don't get out of my car, everybody dies. He goes, fuck you. What? I go, I'm not kidding. I'm not fucking kidding. If you don't get the fuck out of my car, everybody dies. You die, she dies, I die, everybody fucking dies. He goes, fuck you. Take me home. I get in the passenger seat. And I go, I'm not joking. I'm telling you this again. And I close the door. And Karen's outside. I go, just, honey, don't get in the car. I'm telling you this again. If you don't get out of this car, everybody fucking dies. He goes, fuck you. I hop in the driver's seat. I start the car. Engine's revving. And I go, if you don't get out of this car, you die, she dies, I die, everybody fucking dies. He goes, fuck you, pussy, take me home. I put it in park, and then I put it in drive, but with the brake on, and I put my foot to the floor so the engine goes fucking louder than anything you've ever heard. It's nothing but engine, and I go, I'm not fucking kidding! Get out of this car, or you die, everybody fucking dies! Everybody fucking dies! He goes, fuck you, pussy, you won't do it, and his wife goes, I think he's gonna do it. And he goes, go, fuck you, pussy, take me home. And I go, last chance! Everybody fucking dies! He goes, fuck you. I go, that's it! And I fucking put it in drive, and I drive for the wall of the mall. Because I don't fucking care. This is it. He dies, I die. It ends today. He's 12, and I'm 9. I'm not going to do what he fucking says. He's not going to push me around. It's not going to fucking happen. Whether he's going to listen to me or not, if it happens in death, I don't fucking care. Because he dies, I die, she dies, everybody fucking dies. I'm heading for the wall. I hit the curb. I jump the curb. I'm on the grass, and I'm moving to the fucking wall of the wall, brick wall. I don't give a fuck. We're all dying. He's screaming, he's laughing, she's screaming, she's pulling my hair, she's punching me in the face, and I don't give a fuck. I'm saying, everybody dies! Everybody fucking dies! Everybody dies! And through it all, engine, her screaming, me yelling, everywhere, I hear, Michael! know how I heard it. Because I shouldn't have heard it. We're all screaming, it's the car, the engine, but it was like a bell. It was like a clarion call. And it woke me up immediately. And I double-footed the brakes. Just fucking hammered them. And we skid to a stop on the dirt. It had kind of the same effect because they didn't have their seatbelts on. So Vesna headbutted me in the back of the head, and Lenny goes flying, like fucking bangs his face on the seat. And I put the car in reverse and I go back. And I get to the curb and it's like, and I do a little parallel park. I get out of the car and I take the keys, of course. And Karen is running. And just bag his apple flailing behind her. And she's running. She's Michael, oh my God, you gotta stop, Michael. And I go, honey, I'm fine. She goes, Michael, please, you gotta stop. I go, honey, I'm fine. Get in the car. But you said I shouldn't get in the car no matter what. Honey, it's okay. Just get in the car. Michael, honey, trust me, okay? If you've never trusted me your whole life, trust me now. Get in the car. So I walk her over, I open the passenger seat, she gets in. I get in the driver's seat and I start it. We drive. And I go to leave the mall and we see cherries. The police have some questions that they don't answer. So I pull in, there's like a hybrid 7-Eleven, I pull in there. And we get out, there's two police officers, one's a lady, one's a man. The man gets me and Karen, the lady takes Lenny and Vesna. And he asks, he goes, what's going on? I go, hey, it's my brother. I go, this has been going on our whole lives. I don't want him in my car, I don't want to take him back to Los Angeles, I want nothing to do with him anymore. He was okay, well, what happened? I go, it's just an argument that's been going on for years and years, and I just don't want him in my car. I don't want to take him anymore. And behind me, I can hear Lenny, and he's talking to the lady officer, he's put on the Eddie Haskell, and said, well, ma'am, he punched my wife, and I'm sorry, I lost my temper a little bit. I mean, he's just being fucking a dick. So the male cop looks at me, and he goes, if you don't take him home, he's gonna press charges against you. And I said, yeah, I'll press charges against him and we'll both go to jail. Karen's like, you're both gonna go to jail? And I said, yeah. I said, we'll both press charges, there's witnesses, and yeah, we'll go to jail for assault or battery, whatever the hell they have here. And the cop's like, so, he goes, it's your choice. He goes, if you want to take him home, he goes, maybe we can overlook this, but he goes, if that happens, you're gonna go to jail. And he goes, if you go to jail, you're here for 2 days. It's tomorrow's Sunday, you're not gonna see a judge till Monday. And I said, I don't want him in my car. I'm sorry. Because it was over. I said it was over. In my head, I decided it was over. And Karen looks at me and she just goes, Michael, let's just be done with this. Take him home. And, I've put her through so much just in that day. And to see her face and have her say that, I can't say no. I can't. So I looked at the cop and I'm like, all right, I'll take him home. He goes, all right. He goes, well, you got to get that cleaned up, and then you guys, I'll talk to you and you'll get out of here. And I look down, and my leg has a gash, 3-inch gash, and it's like a blood sleeve, like my whole calf, my shoe, my sock. It's just, you can wring the blood out. It's like Kurt Schilling, awful. So I go into the 7-Eleven, and he's like, no bathroom! I said, I understand that, but the police told me to come in and get cleaned up. No. I said, well, there's a bathroom I can use. Ask the policeman. No. I said, all right, well, I'll use the coffee sink. No. I said, well, then let me use the bathroom. He said, no. I said, well, I'll use the coffee sink. I'm not an animal. I'm not going to make a mess. And he said no, but he wasn't going to stop me because, I'm a fucking 6'2", 500-pound guy covered in blood. So I go to the sink, and I use up a whole roll of paper towels too, man, just mopping my leg and sock, everything. I got it all cleaned up, cleaned up the gash as best I could, and I walked outside. And the male cop's got everybody in a group, and I walk up, and I'm across from Lenny, Karen's across from Vesna, the cops are in the middle. And the cop says, all right, we've heard the stories, we know what's going on here. He goes, you can send each other to jail, or you can leave. He goes, and I've talked to your brother here, and he's told me that he's going to take you home. And Lenny's looking right at me, and Lenny smiles right on my face. Because he got what he wanted. And he smiles. And the cop's like, so he'll take you home, and what I need from you, and he points at Lenny, he says, I need you to thank him and ask him if he'll take you home, and you have to apologize for what happened here today. And Lenny goes, but officer, you don't understand, he punched my wife. And he goes, I don't care. He goes, this is the deal. He goes, you do this and you get a ride home. If you don't do this, I've got to deal with you. And I don't want to deal with you. So, your decision. And then Lenny looks at me and he goes, Mike, I'm sorry for everything that happened today. Will you please take Vesna and I home? And I looked at him and said, you gonna pay for the gas? It's funny, when I was talking to my buddy Max, he was like, dude, what's the difference between stand-up and a one-man show? I said, well, I don't think in stand-up I can get away with a 45-minute story about almost killing my brother and his wife. Pretty tough to push the nachos after I've been screaming, everybody dies in your face for 25 minutes. But, I mean, you know, the truth is I've wasted a lot of my life. I've wasted at least half my life, probably. And I'm 45. That seems, wait on, that half seems high. That seems low, actually. No, high. 45 half, then I'm 90? I'm not making 90. Fuck that. I wasted 2/3 of my life. I've wasted 4/5 of my life, folks. I've wasted 8/12 of my life. Well, no, I'm going to say 5/7. All right, anyway. I've wasted a lot of time, is my point. And I don't want you to do that. You know, I just, it's so strange. Like, I'm disappointed in myself, and I said I'm angry with myself, and I have rage and stuff, but it's all directed at me. I'm not mad at anybody else. This is my fault. I recognize that it's my fault. And it's not over. That's the good news. You know, I'm 45 years old, and it seems to me now that people kind of care about what I say a little bit. You know, some people have, and I'm happy about that. You know, and the weird thing to me is that all of the stupid shit I did to get me here is what's the bulldozer that's digging me out. It's crazy. But the thing is, I was supposed to be more. And it drives me crazy. I knew all along I was going to be something or somebody, and not like in a little kid astronaut bullshit sense, but I knew I had more, and I was supposed to be more than this now. And I'm not, and it's my fault. And I want to make it, and not because, again, I'm a superstar or any of that, I just want to do it to prove that anybody who's ever thought I was worth it, that they weren't wrong. I don't care about me, I really don't. I care about my wife. To make sure she knows that she didn't waste her life and back the wrong guy. I care about everybody here. I care about everybody who listens to the show or anybody who's ever contacted me and told me that I meant something to them. Because I want to prove to them they're not wrong. Because it goes and it goes fast. And it's your fault if you let it go. And I'm telling you not to make sure. You gotta just make sure and go forward. Go forward. Don't look back. You can't. That first song we heard was a song by Pearl Jam, and it's called Life Wasted. And it says, I've tasted a life wasted, I'm never going back again. I've feasted a life wasted, I'm never going back again. I escaped it, a life wasted, I'm never going back again. Well, I've tasted a life wasted, and I've faced a life wasted, but can I escape a life wasted? I have no idea, but I'm gonna fucking try. This song is called Inside Job, also by Pearl Jam. There's a line in it that says, how I feel is how I am. How I choose to feel is how I am. And if that's true, then I choose to feel that this is going to work. And I choose to feel that I am going to be more. I choose to feel that success is an option. And how I choose to feel is how I am. Good night. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Take care.